We are excited to announce that this season, all Chief Concerns content is brought to you by Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. Unlike traditional sportsbooks where you're always playing against the house, Profit X is peer-to-peer, which means you're going up against other fans. That means you're almost always getting the best price on spreads, money lines, totals, and player props. Here's the coolest part. You can actually set your own odds. For example, let's say you like Kareem Hunt over 22.5 rushing yards. On a sportsbook, maybe that's listed at plus 105, but on Profit X, you can set it at plus 120. And as long as someone accepts the other side of that play, you just locked in way better odds than the market. Profit X runs on a sweepstakes-based system, available in over 40 states, so you can play legally just about anywhere. So use our promo code ChiefConcerns and claim up to $200 in profit cash back on all plays for your first 30 days. Terms and conditions apply. Sign up today using our link in the description, or download the Profit X app and enter code ChiefConcerns, one word. That's Chief Concerns when signing up. Profit X, the sports prediction market that puts you in control.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the war field.
We are excited to announce this season, Chief Concerns is teaming up with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, to bring even more excitement to Chiefs football. Whether you're backing Mahomes to have over 4,500 passing yards, riding the over on Kelsey's 4.5 touchdowns, or picking weekly same-game parlays, FanDuel has you covered with easy-to-use features, fast payouts, and tons of ways to win. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. And don't forget to tune into our weekly Chiefs same-game parlay show every week during the regular season. Finding the right person for your team can be just like the NFL draft. You've got a huge board of prospects, but only a few are the perfect fit for your roster. Sometimes you're sifting through a lot of tape before you find that Mahomes-level candidate. But with ZipRecruiter, it's like having the best scouting department in the league. They find amazing candidates for you fast. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Here's why it works. The moment you post your job, ZipRecruiter's smart technology starts showing your role to qualified people, your first rounders. No waiting around for the right player to fall to you. And when you see someone you like, you can send them ZipRecruiter's pre-written invite to apply message. It's like handing them the playbook and saying, we want you in the lineup. So ditch the other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash, and tonight we have a big show coming your way. Our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, will be joining us shortly. But tonight, you guys, we've been teasing it for a week, or a little bit over than that. We have former Chiefs linebacker, former Chargers linebacker Donnie Edwards joining us tonight to kick off week 1 of the NFL season. It's a big show. It's a big show for sure. We have Donnie Edwards coming on, obviously. Then later on, we're going to have JD's 10 keys to victory for this game on Friday night. And then, of course, our guy, Teja, my brother, will be joining us, and we will be going over our bets for week 1 of the NFL season. I saw Teja's bets earlier. not bad. Him and I have, like, I think 2 crossover bets this week, so that'll be some good stuff. But yeah, tonight's going to be one heck of a show, and we hope you guys are ready for it. I'm ready. I got my Donnie Edwards jersey on, so I'm ready for this one. So yeah, you can tell I'm ready for that. So so JD will be joining us shortly, and we will begin this Donnie Edwards interview, this long-awaited one, long-anticipated one. Man up, Ozarks. Donnie Edwards, one of my favorite Chiefs of all time. Oh, I mean, stud. The guy was a stud on the field and off the field, you know? I mean, the guy, yeah, I mean, like, and I remember playing fantasy, one of my early days of playing fantasy. I remember playing IDP, individual defensive players. Donnie Edwards was a machine, solo tackle machine, let me tell you. Of course, he had some interceptions as well, but he was all over the field, man. Defensive dynamo, as I like to say. But let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got Gary Holland in here. Chiefer65 TPT. What is going on? G-Pick, my guy. I've had a lot of people DM me today asking about Donnie coming on tonight. So, yeah, should be a good one. Should be a great one. Witchy Hall, what is going on? Laura Zinzer, how are you doing? Witchy Hall again. Whispers Dramatic, football is back tomorrow. I know tomorrow night is when it all begins, but 2 days really is when it really starts, right? So, yeah, excited for that. Linda Hunter, what is going on? About time, my guy. He messaged me today asking what time we were going on tonight. And, he is lurking from work nights. Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. And then we got Man Up Ozarks in here. Del Monte Green Beans is in here. Hell yeah. G-Pick, like the OG jersey. Yeah, you know. It's not his – because I think when he first got here, I think we were Nike or Puma in the 90s when he first came over here. But this is when he came back the second time. This is a Reebok jersey. So this is when he came back his second stint with Kansas City. So should be good. Should be a great one. Witchy Hall, what's going on? Del Monte. Sasha's in here. What's going on, Sasha? So, yeah, guys, we're 2 days away. The guys left today to Brazil. Very going to be an interesting one. This is like over the last few years. We had the Mexico game. We had the Germany game. And now this game, I think that we had London with the Detroit Lions many years back. And then one of the first years of Andy Reid's tenure in Kansas City. But, yeah, another international game under our belt. So, hey, we'll get this out of the way, and no more international games for the rest of the year. And don't think about that stuff. So that's good. We kind of get it out of the way right away. And then, of course, we got that big game against the Eagles next week. But very excited about what we're going to see this Friday. And I'm curious to see what Donnie has to say, right? Because Donnie played for the Chargers as well as the Chiefs. So, like, where's the loyalty lie here? I was 2 stints with the Chiefs, so that definitely helps. Former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn should be joining us here shortly. Stuart T, what's the big deal sports writers are making about Bolt's running back being clear to play? I don't get it. Well, I mean, he's playing, and apparently Najee's going to get the start. That's what I read earlier, which is interesting because, like, he's had, like, 6 practices with the team. So that's a very interesting one. Very curious to see how that goes, honestly. But also, I think it's a bit of gamesmanship. So, like, I don't really know. Hampton was their first round pick. He's been getting all the volume during training camp, so that should be the guy. I guess they're making a big deal about it because they're going to start him. But, like, again, I don't know how much it's going to mean. I know they say the starting. I've seen like for example, the Commanders, they had Bill Krosky Merritt supposed to be the guy, and then like the unofficial depth chart came out and he was the RB3. So I don't know. I think a lot of teams are just playing around with their depth charts as of right now. So we shall see what that looks like. And then I think I saw even with the Patriots, I believe the Patriots have Travion Henderson as their RB3. So a lot of funny business and gamesmanship with these with some of the depth charts that are coming out. So I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't look at that too seriously. But our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, is here, and he's about to rock in with this tonight, man. It's a dungeon tonight, so I think everyone's ready for that. Everyone's been ready for weeks for that. So here's our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. JD, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Marcus? What's going on, brother? Ooh, boy, it feels a lot of Christmas. It's like, man, I'm so excited. I'm listening to you, the things that you're talking about here, man, and I'm just over the moon right now. I'm over the moon. This thing is a couple days away. I mean, we could get it down to the minute, to the second, when the kickoff is going to be down there in Brazil, and I cannot wait, man. How's it going? How's everybody doing? How you doing, brother?
Everyone is in the chat so far. Everyone is rocked up and ready to go for this game Friday. But before that, Donnie Edwards tonight. JD's it's a dungeon, 10 keys of victory tonight. Teja coming on here for the betting show. I mean, we have so much going on here tonight. And then in 2 days' time, we have the real deal going down. But tonight's a nice preview to everything, JD.
Jeez, man. Did we sign up for all this? Did we sign up for all this tonight? Did we? Sorry, man. We get it. We got it. We good. Get it, got it, good. So that's where we're gonna be with it, man. I can't wait to see my brother Donnie when he comes in here to chop it up with him too. But like you said, man, it's gonna be a very piping time tonight. And so with that being said, man, let me say what's up to everybody that's in the chat who's coming in here. Rustin Royd's in here, Justin Blackwell, G Pick, Stuart T, Optimistic James. It's rocking and rolling right now. Gary Holland. Man Up Ozarks, JD, what up, my brother? How you doing? G Pick, what you haul? Gary Holland. Let me see who else we got in here. Demanda Green Beans in here. Rough fight with so cold. Women don't dare. I don't know what you're talking about. I had to look back and see what they're talking about. Let's see, Shasha's in here as well. Let me see who else we got. About Time is in the house. Laura Zingzer, Linda Hunter. Let me see. We got a lot of people starting to come on in the room. So that's the names right now that we got going on, man. And of course, like I said, we're gonna get our guy, my brother in here. And so that's gonna be a wonderful thing. That's gonna be a wonderful thing. So
yeah, and the thing is, I think we had a few people message us today on Twitter. Was like, you guys couldn't have gotten a better guess for this first game of the season with the Chargers, for a guy who played at both organizations once, obviously with us, in the first stint, then the Chargers, and then back to the Chiefs with his final stint. And I mean, could have asked for a better guess for this one. A guy who knows both franchises and both organizations very, very well. And of course, our big concerns on the show is, talking about a little bit of the defensive aspect of it with the whole, not having a real run stuffer. How's that going to impact Nick Bolton? How's that going to impact the linebackers? And other than Donnie Edwards is going to be able to join us and answer those questions. So I'm very excited for this one, JD.
Yeah, me too. So I tell you what, no better person, like you said, to get the answers from than our guy, Donnie Edwards. And so this is going to be a treat for us on the show, for everybody who's coming in. It's going to be an absolute treat to see Donnie get his expertise in a lot of different spaces, for one. But we got to ask my brother how is he just doing, what he's up to now. I know he's one of those world travelers. Donnie might be at the Himalayas. You never know. Next thing you know, you're seeing that and he's doing something else, right? He's saving sea turtles or whatever. That's Donnie. Okay, that's his heart. So he's a gentleman and a scholar and a good friend of mine. So this is going to be an absolute treat, man. Absolute treat. So.
JD, I dug deep in my jersey collection tonight. I was like, I know I have a Donnie Edwards jersey in here, and I pulled it out, baby. 59, baby. I'm repping tonight, baby.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's dedication right there, man. That's dedication.
That was a second. That was a second stint jersey. I think it was like Puma jerseys, I believe, in the mid to late 90s, and then when it came back, that's the Reebok. So yeah, I'm excited to pull it out for this one. I had to.
You had to. I was gonna say, man, you better not have no Chargers jersey on. I was gonna say, man, I'll tell you, bottle it up and burn it. You know what I mean? So. Donnie, he came to Kansas City. This is his home. That's where he cut his teeth at, where he got his start. And so obviously he had to make the little break out there to the Chargers, and that's fine. And
that's
me
fair.
and Donnie used to go against each other a lot in the games. So I let Donnie tell you. Donnie gonna say I held him and all those different things. I didn't hold him.
But all right, well, without further ado, our guy Donnie Edwards is waiting to join the stream. So we're going to add in the guy, one of my favorite linebackers in NFL history, studliest stud, maybe of all time NFL history, Donnie Edwards. We're going to bring him on right now. What's up, Donnie? How you doing, buddy?
And just for the fact, thank you guys for that. That was really nice. And thank you for winning that jersey. I love that classic throwback jersey. I know the old Puma from like the late 90s. that went to Reebok for sure. So I appreciate that, Marcus. And Jason, just for everybody that's watching right now,
Yeah.
yes, you held every damn time. Every time. It's not even fair. I mean, I'm soaking wet, 225 pounds, and I got this big extra offensive lineman playing tight end with these clamps on them. We know.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, look, Donnie, I had to hold you though, man. You was too fast, too quick. So I'm just like, let me just reach out, just grab. Let me reach out and touch someone real quick. That was Donnie. Hey, Donnie, come here real quick. Let's have a real tight conversation. How about we do that? You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Some good times for sure. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk about that because we had some good times playing together, playing against each other in practice in the games, and when I went across the over to San Diego as well. But a lot of good memories, man. Really good to see you, Jason. You're looking good. Like you can still go out there and play. At least mentally, we think we can still go out there and play, right?
Yes, that's the extent of it. They're mentally like, hey, and I take that first step. Body's like, no. It's like, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, you look good, Donnie. I check you out. I know you traveling around a lot, and doing a lot. So I want to just commend you for coming on the show. I appreciate it so much, for reaching out, Marcus reaching out and getting you on here. I was like, man, shoot, Donnie, like I said, he could be in the Himalayas. We don't know that. I think he might be like an honorable monk. So,
I love traveling.
Yeah, I do, man. So now I know you have a busy schedule, my brother. So I'd appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Just come and talk to the fans. And like you said, we've had, man, a long history. And matter of fact, Donnie, I don't know if you remember this or not, but our first victory together was actually the Senior Bowl. Okay. So me and Donnie came in together. It was a Senior Bowl. And so we were on the North, if I'm not mistaken, the North team. That's when I was first introduced to UCLA Donnie Edwards, in this linebacker with I would say, they always talk about your ankles, right? And you used to always wear most linebackers would always wear like the high socks. Donnie had the little ankle things, on. I was like, hold on, I never seen a linebacker wear that. And he just looked fast as lightning. That's what it was. So,
that and the low tops. I always had the low tops,
Yes.
Once in a while I had a 3/4, but most of the time I always had those low tops,
Mm-hmm.
Got to be quick. I got to run around guys, I got to run fast from guys like you.
Well, yeah, man, that was our first victory that we had together. So me and Donnie came in the same year. Man, I tell you, man, I want to say, man, look, 96 draft, a lot of guys, a lot of talent, a lot of Hall of Famers. I mean, I think that was a year where they said the wide receiver draft, right? It was Keyshawn Johnson, all those different guys. Eddie Kennison, he came. Was one of the guys too. But I'd have to say, man, there may be some stellar linebackers, of course. You could probably
a lot. I mean, you got Ray Lewis, you got Ray Lewis, you have Zach Thomas.
Yep.
Right. I mean, we had Randall Gott. I mean, those two guys are in the Hall of Fame for sure. But you had other guys like Randall Godfrey, John Mobley. I mean, there's a number of linebackers, and at that time was kind of unique, Jason, because this is a time where the transition from like that 255-pound linebacker that played tackle to tackle, right, two gap, right? You got guys like us coming through, like 230 and below, right? I think when I got signed by the Chiefs, I was like probably 220, 225, But now, if you look at the game now, I mean, look at Drew Tranquil, like all these guys are like safeties playing linebacker, and that's essentially what I was playing. Really, I mean, this is the time right now that I should be playing. But at the same time, if you think about going back to the 1996 draft, this is the first time where you had linebackers playing every down, because back on nickel and dime, you got guys out there, right? On third down, linebackers came off the field. Who came in? Big safeties like Martin Bayless, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those guys that are like big safeties coming in playing linebacker. And then I think in that 1996 year, you got linebackers that played every down, right? They were able to run with the running backs out the backfield, the tight ends, the wide receivers, play deep coverage, all this stuff. And it really like revolutionized that position where like linebackers can play every down. And it is go down to history and look at the game now. I mean, I just wish I was 20 years younger, because this is like the time right now. I mean, 20 interceptions. I think I would definitely have a lot more than that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it, man. Not only that, Donnie, but look, you would have got paid a whole lot more money. When I'm looking at, me and Mark were just talking about on Monday how some of these guys, these astronomical contracts guys are signing, and you was worth every penny of it. And you know how it is. and we've seen it because guys that came before us too, coming in with the walkers and stuff like that, man, they just laid the foundation and the groundwork for us, to make the type of money that we made. And then now for us doing the same thing, blazing the trail for these older guys getting in. I was sitting there looking at the guys that, second tight ends money. I'm like, oh my gosh. Second tight ends is making like starter money. That's what they're doing. They just pulling that in.
Yeah, it's big money, but you know what? It's all about the cycle because, think about when we played. We made a hell of a lot more money than the guys before us. And the guys before us made a hell of a lot of money before the guys before them. So it's all part of the cycle. We're all part of the history. That's what makes this game great, right? The NFL is such a great game, but it comes down to the people who laid the foundation, and we're part of that fabric, right? If you think about it, we are part of that fabric of the NFL to where it is now. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, just to go to a game and I see all the other stuff, kind of things, Jason, that we didn't see when we played because we went through the tunnel, we went to the locker room, we came on the field, blah, blah, blah. But to be a fan and to see all the love and appreciation from all the fans and like all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, I'm like, man, this game is big. And to see where that game is now in these stadiums right now, I mean, I just went to SoFi Stadium. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. I mean, it's night and day from when we played. I mean, just think about the food that we had, for lunch. I mean, now they got dietitians and it's grown, but just be proud that we are also part of that fabric of that foundation of the NFL.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I tell you what, I wear that honor proudly, and we understood, man, it's a privilege to get into the NFL. A lot of people don't quite understand, man, like the numbers, the odds against you to get into the NFL and to stay for a number of years, man. So, Donnie, what, 14 years?
Yeah, 14, 13 active. My last year was hurt. So 13 active years. It was a good run for sure. Especially for a guy that they said that was a tweener, right? He's a linebacker, and he's not going to be able to make it. But, hey, I got over 150 consecutive starts with this little 225-pound body. But you know what? It was a little chip that I had on my shoulder that I had to prove to everybody that, that I can play with the big boys. I can play against guys like you.
Man.
Some of the guys, I mean, think about trying to tackle Jerome Bettis, right? Jerome Bettis. I mean, this guy's like 200. They always said I hope he's listening too, because they always said, damn well you were not 265. Damn well. Right. It said that in the book, but I mean, come game day, he's about 285, but he was still running a 4.5. I mean, it was coming. I mean, and to be able to tackle a guy like that, I had to change my way to tackle low because it's just physics, right? I mean, most guys are bigger than me and stuff like that, but I just prided myself on making plays and making tackles, right? The key is to get them to the ground. Of course, I want to knock somebody out, but look at this. I'm not, I'm not that prototype linebacker, but at the end of the day, I make plays and I got their ass down.
Well, look, but Donnie, look, you brought some funk with you too now, okay? You can't say you're so short. I seen you lay some wood on a few people. All right.
Not when the guy wasn't looking. Only when he wasn't looking. Only when he wasn't looking. I got tackled by you a few times, okay, now. So, hey, look, your speed, we understand too, physics, right? Speed equals power. And so you had a whole lot of speed and quickness. And so you was coming in with bad intentions. So you weren't like I know they say now that guys are finesse players, right? Sometimes finesse, and I get on one of my boys who played with the Cardinals, he was a linebacker. And he was like, man, you was a finesse linebacker. He's like, man, I ain't finesse, Jason. I ain't no finesse guy. Yeah, when they say that, I said, I'm not a finesse player. I'm a smart player. So I know when I need to stick my nose in there, and I know when I need to shake it and use my ability, my finesse to make the play. The key, what people don't understand, is making the play. I don't care like how hard you hit this back. Did you get him down or did you not get him down? Because how many times you watch a game where they come full speed, right? And they take him up high and he just bounces off and the guy misses the tackle. That didn't happen with me. I make sure that I wrap those legs and I got him down to the ground. I mean, that's just, you got to play smart. So like even playing linebacker, taking on, back when they used to run the ball, not now, but back when they had fullbacks and they used to run the ball downhill, ISO and power plays and that damn truck play that you guys used to run. Don't forget, I know about that.
Yeah, that truck. Oh, yes, sir.
I know about that play, but you got to know when you got to stick your nose in there and know when you got a little bit of space, a little bit of room, and use my ability to win the play. I mean, I'm playing smart, right? I'm not going to play dumb just because, like, I need to prove myself and be tough to take on this 275-pound fullback. No, if I have to, I will, and I'll be low, and I'll get right here in this chin and get underneath them. But at the end of the day, if I got some space, guess what? I'm I'm gonna use my finesse. I'm gonna use my athletic ability to make the down play.
So let me ask you this, Donnie, because that's a great conversation, kind of moving into the segue a little bit. Because one question I wanted to ask you, the linebackers of today. Okay, we got Joey Bosa, obviously with the Chiefs. I say he's a smaller type frame linebacker. He could pretty much run with anybody. Playing from Oregon. Do you feel that the guys now today, and it's not really disparaging the same thing against them, but like intellectually knowing the game, the X's and O's, like the IQ where you need to be, or is it just like playing within the scheme, or do guys have the instincts? Because I think you was a smart player, but also too you was very instinctual, with that too, right? So intelligence is necessarily like the instinctual part of it is you just kind of know where to be. You kind of know how to make plays. You just happen to be, and not happen to be, but you knew how to anticipate where the ball was going to be. And that was one of the things, man, when we were always doing, kind of scouting against you all with the Chargers. That's what I always say about Donnie Edwards. Watch him, he's a crafty player. He knows how to read things and whatnot. So what do you think as far as like today, the linebackers, how do you feel like their cognitive ability is playing within the game?
But you know what, honestly, I prided myself on knowledge and learning the game. But like I talk about the fabric of the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. The guys before us, right? So I had some great teachers, right? Going back to Derek Thomas when I was a rookie back in 1996, signing with the Chiefs. You got Martin Bayless, right? You have Marcus Patton. You have all these guys that taught me, Neil Smith back in the day. I got these guys that taught me how to be a pro, how to not just be a player on the field, but to understand the big scheme on defense, right? Understanding what your 3 technique does, your shade, your 7, your 9, the DBs behind us, everybody, because we're all working in sync. We're a team. If my 3 technique doesn't do its job, right, then I can't do my job. Then I can't do my job. And then all of a sudden, we're going to lose that play, right? Yeah. So knowledge is something that I was very fortunate about making sure that I studied, right? Understanding the game. And I'll tell you, there's a guy named Greg Minuski. Greg Minuski. Yeah, that's right. Greg Minuski, 13 years, linebacker, special teams, maniac. I mean, the guy used to run back on Kickoff when it was real Kickoff. I mean, this guy Anyways, but I'll tell you, because at a young player coming out of UCLA, I'm an athlete. I'll just make plays. I see ball, I get ball, making things happen. But then being around those fabric of the foundation, especially with the Chiefs, Greg Minuski was one of those guys. I mean, he was my backup, but yet he was helping me every day, understanding, drawing it down on paper. Donnie, here's what they're going to do. Look at the formation. Down block, come around, you pivot, crossover, you get to that point, right? So, and the great thing about it, he was my coach when we were playing together. And then once I went to the San Diego Chargers back in 2002, he was my linebacker coach. So, I mean, he was coaching me. Yeah, he was coaching me, 7 years before. And now he's coaching me. And now he's coaching me again. I mean, it's just a continuous thing that I've learned. And I think that, once players get to the point where they understand the scheme, they understand, because every time, depending on the head coach or the defensive coordinator, they're going to come in with their new language. Because most people don't understand. The fans don't really understand. Anytime you get a new coach, it's a whole new language. Imagine you're going from, right? It's a whole new terminology. It's everything. And you got to learn that. You got to fit into it, especially for a defensive guy. If it's a 3-4 or 4-3, it's challenging. But what you have to do, you have to understand the game, understand your position first, and understand the people around you. And once you understand that, and you get into the tune of understanding and having that feel from practice and in games, then you can anticipate and start making those plays. I mean, I'll tell you, so many times, playing against you guys, I knew when you went in motion, you coming over here, it doesn't matter where you line. You can be out there on the damn sideline. Jason Dunn coming across, shift, and all of a sudden he's coming back right here. And I'm yelling it. The running truck right here. And we couldn't do anything because your big ass was just knocking the crap out of everybody. You guys, man, I'm telling you, man, some good battles. I'm just thinking right now, man, it was just an amazing time.
Look, man, we were a machine offensively, and that was the thing about it, man. Well, the big boys up front, obviously Will and B. Waters, Big Rofe, Tate here, Tate and those guys.
Casey Wigman. Casey
Wigman, yes. Come on, man.
That guy is so smart, so quick, and that's a smart guy, right? He's not the prototype center, right? light,
Right.
as they say, light, light in the butt, things like that. But smart, can anticipate. And I know, especially when I was with the Chargers too, playing inside linebacker on that 3-4, I know he's going to block me. He's going to like hike he's going to snap the ball and then pull. And I know it, and I'm cheating over. And I don't know how he gets it, but he gets out there. I mean, guys like that understand the game. That's going back to like, your question about these young guys understanding the game. The more they can understand the game, especially now with all the technology they have now. I mean, because I was able to go into the locker room and see all this new technology they have. I mean, they have everything at their fingertips. I mean, back when we played, we had a cut film, and I had to ask my coach, "Hey man, can you get me like this formation and all the plays that they run all year?" And I got to go through it. Now with the technology and AI and stuff like that, I mean, it's all right in front of you. I mean, it is amazing. So, I mean, I think it's there for sure, especially some of these young guys, I mean, they're going to get on top of it, because this game is tough. But once you understand it, it makes it so much easier when you go out there and play on Sunday. And I always tell guys, too, the more that you study during the week, the more that you spend time investing during the week, the easier it's going to be on game day. I mean, how many times you go in the locker room before the game, 2 hours before the game, and you see guys in their playbook like stood. I'm like, bro, it's too late. It's too late now. Now it's time to play. It's too late. Now it's time to play. Let's go. Let's go. It's too late. You should have did that shit on Friday. Give me hype, man. Give me.
Hey, now listen, hey, brother. Hey, look, we don't. Hey, can't help who we are, right? It's just part of us, Donnie. I tell you.
Give me hype, man. Give me hype. Because I'm looking at you right now. Like, we went to battle together. We battled with each other. And we battled against each other, and that's special. I mean. And I think most people don't understand that bond that we have as teammates, right? Even though that we haven't seen each other in a long time, that bond is there. You know what I mean? When I see you, we start talking about the old times, like you feel it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just conjure up in your blood. You just getting there boiling, man. I'm sitting over it. I'm listening to you. It's almost like you were in front of the team meeting. Like, okay, yeah, we ready to go. Hey, man, the hay's in the barn.
Let's roll.
Yeah, right. Hey, don't do your homework now. You should have did that 2 or 3 days ago. If you're not prepared, not ready, don't come out here. If you ain't ready, don't come out them doors. Okay?
Yep.
So
now it's time to execute, right? Now it's time to execute. Right? We plan, we prepare, and now it's time to execute. Now it's game day. Now let's go out there and have some fun.
Yes. Man, I tell you, woo.
Give me hype, man. Give me hype.
I know it, brother. I know it, baby. Look. And like you were just talking about, just running through the tunnel, just feeling that emotion, and and of course, and like you said, that bond that we created, that relationship over time and years. I mean, it's a brotherhood, no doubt about it, man. You know how much I love you. I mean, it's things like that you just can't. I got into coaching after I retired. I coached for 12 years, and I tell people all the time. They ask me, JD, do you miss it? And I said, I miss the camaraderie. I miss the guys in the locker room. That's the part I miss more than anything else. The practice and all that, they can keep. Obviously, on Sundays, game day is another feel and a hype to it. I said, but your brotherhood with the guys that you're battling with every single day, I mean, you're spending time with each other more than you do with your family most of the time. And it's the truth. I mean, golly, stuff that we just in the locker room talking about, conversations, everything's on the table. And it's good because you get to learn who guys are. And I think sometimes when fans, kind of see when they talk about players, I try to always show them the, humanity, the human side of it, that we are just humans, just like everybody else. The game is just what we do. But we have feelings, we have emotions, we have families, like we care about one another. And so when I'm on here talking about guys, and I know different pundits get out there, dog different dudes and stuff like that, good. I understand it, right? Guys have a responsibility because this is a production business. We understand that. But also, too, what you need to have is also an understanding that this guy's trying to do his best. He is giving it his all. And so the guy's not trying to mess up. The guy's trying to do his best when he is out there. He's trying to give you something, to come and create a win. But more importantly, it's the other guys on the team that care about him as well. So when I'm sitting over and I hear somebody talk about my brother, I'm going to be a little upset. And so even if I played against the guy and I didn't, or I was in the locker room with him, I know that feeling. I know how that is. And so I'm just like, yo, man, I back up a little bit sometimes when, people are just so, oh, this guy's trash. He's a bum. This, you know what I mean? I'm just like, man, you have no idea how much this guy, the effort he is putting in, like the pain that he's going through every single day, the dedication, the hard work, the perseverance, the resiliency that he has about him, because he wants to come out there and he wants to do his best. So, man, man, Donnie, when you bring all those emotions out of me, brother, just looking at you, man, I'll tell you. So, I just want to give you a big old hug right now, like, yeah, man, shoot, yeah.
Right on. We'll do it when I come back for the Chiefs Legends game for sure. We'll do it this year for sure. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So also too, Donnie, let me just ask you a little bit. As far as, I think we're gonna get into somewhat like the whole history with the Chargers and the Chiefs, right? Once you left Kansas City, okay, you could kind of tell that story a little bit about your journey, kind of from the Chiefs to the Chargers, that transition, how it felt, because you got out there, you start playing for Marty. So Marty was, once you got out there and start playing for him, I'm sure Marty was like, yo, hey, absolutely, I want to get Donnie Edwards out here. I need to have a guy like that. And man, when I'm telling you, Marty, I always wanted to play for Marty. When I was coming out in 90, same year, I took a visit out to Kansas City. So Kansas City was one of the ones on the list. So they took Reggie Tongue. Me and Reggie Tongue was on the on the visit together. But me and Marty, every time we saw each other, I was like, Marty, I always wanted to play for you. He said, Jason, man, I always wanted you to play for me. You was my type of guy. I just always appreciated and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about your journey from the Chiefs to the Chargers, your relationship kind of with that whole thing with Marty and whatnot.
Yeah, so back in 1996, I got drafted, right? So people don't know, but in 1995, I broke my back. So All-American 94, already graduated from college, UCLA, and ended up going to graduate school and still playing on my last year because I was soaking wet about 218 pounds. So, and this is after creatine and working out and protein mix and trying to eat as much as I can. It's just, I'm 200 pounds right now. So it's always been tough for me to keep that weight on, right? So, I got drafted. And I went in the fourth round because I broke my back my senior year, and no one wanted to touch someone that broke their back. Missed the whole entire year. First game I played in after I broke my back, I think, I played in the last USC game, but was a Senior Bowl. That was the first game that I played. But at the time, I didn't lift one weight at all or anything like that at all. And and it was my opportunity to show my talents to everybody on that level for sure. And and it was great. I was a defensive MVP for that game, defensive player MVP for that, Senior Bowl game, so kind of gave me some confidence, like after coming from that major injury, right? And then ended up going to the fourth round, and the Chiefs traded up for me, so I came there in 1996, and at that time, it doesn't matter if you got drafted in the first round or the sixth round, like you weren't starting. Rookies didn't play. You had to earn your spot. Quarterback can be drafted in the first round and you still won't play. You got to earn your spot. That's the way it was back then. It's changed now, but look, I mean, it was amazing. I had a great group of guys around me. You got to understand, we had Salamua. You guys remember Dan? Come on, Chiefs fans. Dan Salamua.
Yeah.
Dan Salamua. Dan Salamua. Neil Smith, Derek Thomas. I can go down the list right now. James Hasty, Dale Carter. We had an incredible defense, and this was something that, as a young player, and then our class, Reggie Tongue, Jerome Woods, Joe Horn. We had a crew there. Right. Yeah. So it was great. We had a good team. The Chiefs were just coming from a playoff win. The year before, came close. So, look, we were close. It was great. And the nice thing about it, I was able to connect with all these guys and learn from them and to be a professional. I was there with the Chiefs for 6 years to start off. The first time I was there for 6 years. And back in 1997, come on, Chiefs fans, 1997 went 13-3. Elvis Gerbach broke his collarbone, I believe, third week of the season. Rich Gannon came in. I think we won 10 or 12 games straight. And defensively, we didn't give up a second half touchdown for over 10 games. We were just rolling that year.
Wow.
What's that? Yeah, we were just rolling. Yeah, we were rolling that year. 1997, we played the Denver Broncos 3 times that year, and it was a close game. And you got to understand, that's when they had Terrell Terrell Davis, John Elway. I mean, they had McCaffrey. They had the whole squad. They had Shannon Sharp. I mean, they were scoring like 50 points a game. They were just rolling. Had that zone blocking scheme. You know,
Yeah.
everybody runs sideways and he runs right downhill. And we battled. We split during the season and we played them in the playoffs. And unfortunately, we lost. Like, I was like 13-10 or something like that. It was a close game. Blah blah blah. So that was like the big. That was really big. And then, next year, we had a little drawback. Marty ended up leaving. And we got Gunther Cunningham back in 1999. Was great. I mean, he kind of was already there already. And we went 9-7 that year. We should have, did better. But, nonetheless, it didn't happen. And then there was another coaching change. We ended up getting Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
Yep, Dick Vermeil. I think that was in 2001 it was, right? So I played 1 year under Dick Vermeil. So in the 6 years, I had 3 different head coaches, right? So remember I told you guys 3 different head coaches, so then you have a whole new scheme, new coordinators, like all this different stuff. It changes the language. It's kind of challenging. And that's something that you don't want as a player. You want consistency. You want the same defense, the same coach, and the same. So that's when you start to learn more and you can be true a player, because now all of a sudden you go into a new situation trying to learn, and that uncertainty will get you beat. It'll get you beat on the field, but collectively it'll get you beat too. I mean, I know, like when we had Greg Robinson there, I mean, his defense was so confusing and so complicated, especially when the offense was like, doing shifts and motions. I mean, we were all over the place. It was way too much, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. So, look, those are the challenges you have. But all in all, man, we found a way to win. When I was with the Chiefs, we found a way to win. And, Kansas City was my home. I mean, they took me in when I was 23 years old. I mean, this is my home away from home. Everybody knows I'm born and raised here in San Diego, but Kansas City is my second home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got engaged to my wife. I mean, it's just like there's so much. That was my foundation. And, I tell you, back in 2001, I didn't want to leave. I was playing well. Everything was going well. We got a new coach with Dickie V coming through. Offense is gelling. I mean, things are going. But then, there's only so much money to go around, and they had to make some changes. They want to put more money on offense and things. I mean, look, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on, and I don't get involved in that stuff. I don't worry about that stuff. I worry about what I do on the field. Just turn the tape on, and I'm always coming from the place of don't talk about it, be about it, right? So you got questions, just watch the film. You want to see it? That's what it is. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to show you. And that's what it was. And unfortunately, I got let go, and then I was out there, and luckily, one of my former coaches, Marty Schottenheimer, came to San Diego first year with a lot of the same coaches. I talked about Greg Minuski. Greg Minuski was my linebacker coach, which is pretty amazing, right? And then you had, remember Redman? We had Redman out there. We had a lot of Kansas City flavor out there. Vander, what's his name?
The returner?
The returner. Come on.
I just lost it.
Vanover.
Vanover.
Yeah.
Vanover. Yup, he was out there. We had him in Kansas City. I mean, there was a lot of Kansas City blood out there, which is great. So we kind of brought that environment, that atmosphere that Marty created in Kansas City, and we brought it over to the Chargers. I mean, it was very similar. I mean, training camps were like, it was a ball buster. I'm telling you. Double pads. Marty Schottenheimer. Even Dick Vermeil too, like all and Gunther Cunningham, all the coaches I had. I mean, you're looking at 2.5-hour practices, full pads. Yeah, for all you young players right now, yeah, full pads. That means everything. I mean, we should do a fullback linebacker drill, an inside drill, like a lead. Yes. I mean, that was an actual like drill, like running full speed into each other. We did Oklahoma drill. I mean, it's crazy looking back, but but to be honest, I mean, I think it's good because it kind of like brings this bond together that we have, right? Because, we were in those training camps together. We know how tired we was, but you know what? It doesn't matter about the individual. It matters about us collectively, right? You talk about that team. It's about us. And you know what? Hey guys, let's push through it. Let's work hard. Let's get through it. You know what I mean? And that's where that the essence of that team is, right? That's what we get from that hard work and that doubt that we have. But someone grabs you by the side, come on, Jason, let's go. We got this. Okay, cool. We can do this, right? And that goes into life as well. And I'm really glad that I had that in my life. I mean, with Marty, he brought that there. I mean, it was great. But he brought that same mentality out there to the Chargers, and we did well there because, like, how he is, he's just straightforward, and it was a good run. And then we had another coaching change and things like that. But at the end of the day, man, it was fun. I mean, for me to have an opportunity to go back to San Diego, after I got let go from the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2002, to come to San Diego and to play where I grew up. I mean, I'm born and raised right on the beach, right out here, and to have an opportunity, to play with Junior Seau, some of the guys that, Rodney Harrison, and Doug Flutie, some of the guys that, I grew up watching, to be able to play there in front of my friends and family was just a dream come true. And I just really grateful for that opportunity. And, really had a great time. And, and I'll tell you, most people don't know this, but, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Mr. Lamar Hunt. I mean, you talk about one of the best owners in football. After I left, I got goosebumps right now, guys. I got goosebumps right now because I'm telling this story, I wasn't sure coming back to Kansas City. We played you guys later in the year, back in 2002, the first year. And the first game of the season, you guys came out to San Diego, and we won at the end. I ended up getting an interception to seal the game at the end of the game on a Hail Mary pass down in the back end zone by the tunnel that we came out, and we won that game. And then we're coming in November out there against Trent Green and the crew back in November. And it was my first time coming back in Arrowhead, right? And of course, like, being a former player of the team and coming back, I mean, I'm in the conference and I know what happened the last time we played, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, I'll never, ever forget this is the quality of the Chiefs fans, right? They understand about what you were talking about earlier about how hard we work, right? And what it's about, but there's things that are out of our control, right? There's things that are out of control. I never wanted to leave Kansas City, you know what I mean? But Kansas City left me. Right, the Chiefs left me, right? Yeah. But coming back and having that warm welcome, because I remember talking about it, I was like, hey, we want to have the defense run out, we want the offense run out, and I was like, oh man, I know how it rolls when you're in another state. I like to play for the team, and they switched it up and they had the defense run out there, and I'll never forget the welcome that I received from the Chief fans, the welcome back home, and that just really like solidified for me that this is my second home, and it's just like there's some. I mean, I'll never forget that. And then after, we ended up winning the game. Another interception to seal the game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, really? Another interception to seal the game about the 30-yard line at the end of the game, and really excited. Going back in the locker room, I was in the shower getting ready, and one of the trainers come out and said, "Hey, man, you got to get out of the shower. Someone wants to talk to you." I'm like, who? And he said, just get out of the shower. Someone wants to talk to you. And I go over there, and it's the owner in the visitors' locker room. It's the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Hunt, saying thank you, and, thank you for being a Chief, and, great game. I mean, like, this owner doesn't do that, right? Yeah. Coming to the visitor locker room, and that's just like, there's something about it, right? Having that warm welcome, in Arrowhead Stadium, and then having Lamar Hunt, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, has been around forever. I mean, to come there and to say, hello, it just really solidified my love, for KC. It was awesome. I mean, that just goes part to the organization that, the Chiefs have out there. And I'm just really happy to be part of that organization, and to be a Chief.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's, just speaking about Lamar, I mean, that was his character. He's such a gentleman. He knew a lot about who the players were. Come down, shake your hand, look at you in the eye, ask about your families. And I remember that. I remember when I came from Philadelphia and I got over to, to Kansas City, and he would ask like, hey, how's your mom doing and your brother's sister? And I'm just like, okay, because it was completely different than when I've been up in Philly. Completely different. You just didn't have people, up in, we would call from the upper room coming down to the lower room talking to guys. Right. And I remember him just kind of walking around the locker room, and he would go to each one and give them time, just saying hello, shaking their hand. And I mean, he was just, when I'm talking about the gratitude of saying thank you, I'm like, shoot, thank you. You're the one that's employing us.
Give me an opportunity.
Here. Absolutely. Yeah. And so what he did is he created that environment that fostered, that cohesiveness, that relationship. And so you knew that. And I was saying the same thing like you were talking about, like the fans. The fans, I don't know if you knew this or not. You probably knew this before I got out there. But I didn't know anything about the best buns contest. You remember that?
Oh,
You ever win?
I should go get it. I have it in my office right now. I have the little plaque that they gave me.
Yeah, okay. I won it twice. Okay, so the ladies up there like, yeah, Jason. I came and get the little. Oh man, I was so thankful for it, right? Because you sitting there thinking like these older ladies are sitting back and checking out the Chiefs tushies, right? It was crazy, but that was kind of like where it was so personable with the fans. They were just right there. Nobody was nasty with you. And like I said, I came from Philly. Philly, man, the fans, oh my goodness. Oh, you were like the worst. And I tell people this all the time. When I got to Kansas City and I heard the media, it felt like I was around some kittens. I was like, where's all the controversy? I just didn't really have it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's much different, but it always stems from the top, right? So Lamar Hunt was the top of the, he was the top, and he set that environment. He set that atmosphere for the city of Kansas City to be connected with the Chiefs. I mean, it was just like, it starts there. I mean, his, humility, right, just kind of trickles down to everybody, and that's what it is, and that's what was so special. I mean, there was nothing like it for sure. I mean, it was,
Man, I thank you for saying that. Just kind of talking about Marty taking, like you said, some of that atmosphere out there as well from like what it was pretty much kind of the culture of the Chiefs and kind of molded it with whatever the charges were, right? And you said he brought a lot of guys out there, which I'm sure helped out a ton, right? Because y'all guys knew what it was about. You already knew like, hey, this is what Marty expects. This is how we're going to kind of do things. And so that makes that, transition that much smoother. So let me ask you about this. You were just talking about consistency with the coaches, right? And how that really matters with a team. The Chiefs right now are very consistent with their coaches. They got a very incredible staff, obviously, with Andy Reid, Spagnuolo. You just name it. From the top to the bottom, there's a lot of consistency there. And so just kind of talk about how important that is, how imperative to have a guy that knows about keeping the culture the same, doing it the same way. And we see the results of it, right? I mean, it's just people can talk and say whatever they want to say. They may not like it or whatnot, but the results speak for itself. It really does. So kind of touch on that part a bit as far as like this consistency with coaches, how important that is.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, it's very important, right? The atmosphere. I mean, just like it's always great, like when you go to like a local restaurant and the people there, right? Everybody knows each other. They know how to work with each other. The staff stays the same, you know what I mean? Like having that environment makes you feel comfortable, right? And that what makes you excel and grow as a team. It's the same thing inside a building, right? It's the same thing on a football team. Like having the consistency of the coaches and like the core players there, right? Because that sets the atmosphere in the locker room, right? And
right.
I mean, and it's been some years where we didn't have that because they let too many of the veterans, the guys that were there before who understood what it took in order to be a pro, they let them go, and it was overrun by a bunch of young players who didn't understand what it's like here in Kansas City, right? Or other organizations. So that's important. And this is like a small thing that people don't really understand. You know what I mean? It's like, it's about that environment, it's about that culture, it's about that cohesionness that you have. But you got to have buy-in, right? You got to have buy-in from the coaches, buy-in from the leaders to make sure that they coach up the younger players, right? You always want to coach up the younger players so they understand, like, coming here, I understand this culture here, right? And every team is different. Every team is different. But you come here, this is how we're getting it done, right? This is how we're getting it done. If you don't want to do what we're doing here, go somewhere else. But you know how it is. Yeah. So that's so important.
Well, you see that, like I always talk about, having a veteran presence. And of course, you get young talent all day, right? Talent don't necessarily rule out and say it's going to be the best. It's always usually how do you utilize that talent. So it does take, I always said this, the older guys to teach the young guys how to do it. What to do, how you carry yourself, how to be a pro. Hey, young fella, like, listen, this is not what we do. We don't go stay out late. When we talk about studying, there's some things that we need to do. A couple of years ago, and I'm just kind of speak about this a little bit, but I had gotten some grumblings that there was a group that was kind of fighting that whole culture about wanting to do extra work. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there was a reason that group was struggling a little bit. And you could see it on the field. And so they didn't quite buy in yet because, like you were saying, these guys came from different places, very talented, but somehow it just didn't really transpire into being a good group in itself. And so I think it took Andy Reid to say, listen, this is what's going to happen. Either you guys are going to come here and start working after practice, putting in some extra film time and all these different things, or it's real simple. Y'all not going to be here, right? And so, bye-bye. And guess what happens? Not only just before they say bye-bye, they'll say, come sit beside me. We'll let somebody else that understands what to do, who might not be as talented, let him get in there and go play. Now, he might not catch 10 balls, but he'll give me 4 solid ones or 5. And I know he'll go and block, the safety in the corner. He'll go do all the other things what we ask him to do. Okay. So he ain't coming in with the all flashy stuff and, thinking about getting on TikTok and showing you. No, this ain't what it's about. It's about winning. You buy in. Okay. And that equates to wins. And so you've seen that. It does take veteran players to make sure the young players understand what their culture is. And I think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, you got Nick Bolton, Chris Jones, and those guys to understand what it means, to become a champion. And so when any young guy comes in, the first thing I'm going to do is you go talk to Chris. You go talk to Travis. You go talk to Patrick. You go talk to those guys. And then at that point, they're the ones that's going to get you in line. So,
hopefully. I mean, that's the plan,
hopefully.
right? That's the plan because, if you think about it, especially guys coming in, young guys coming in, they're a big man on campus at, said university, LSU, Georgia, wherever, right? They have their own culture there, right? And you may be a god, you may be don't have to practice and come in late, things like that. I mean, this is what they're accustomed to. This is like their culture at their place, right? But that doesn't translate to when you come here. So I tell the guys you're first round, you're good. You're the God's gift to your college. I got news for you. We all were, you're coming to a whole different league now. We were all good in college, right? Just so that we were right there in college with you. You know what I mean? But now you're coming into a different environment. Either you have to buy in, but you got to have buy-in from the coaches as well. You got to make sure, because the players in locker room, we kind of lead it, right? Especially that leadership and get guys going, things like that. But if you don't have a buy-in from said first round draft pick that is individual, wants to do his own deal and wants to stream on TikTok, whatever, you know what I mean, and not really study, that's going to be a problem. Especially with me, it's going to be a problem, you know what I mean? But you have to have buy-in from the coaches as well because, you can't do it. I mean, you can do so much on the field, but you got to make sure that you have support from them too, that they can get this player moving in the right direction, so we can all roll together, right? I don't need you sitting in the back, on your phone, I need you rolling. Let's go. I need you rolling with all of us. Let's go. The NFL is short. People don't realize the NFL is short. I mean, all the years I played, Jason, you don't even know. I never won a playoff game. Never won a playoff game. Think about that. Not one time. Close many times, but never won a playoff game. And Tony Gonzalez, because we played a lot together. That's right. I think he didn't win one in Kansas City. I think he won one in Atlanta, right? His first game in Atlanta. Yeah. Right. And we were talking about that. I was talking about neither one of us have won a playoff game. So people don't realize that. You can have all these great teams go 14-2, 13-3, all this different stuff, and don't make it. And looking back at my career now, it's damn, and I'm around a lot of guys who they always want to show their ring, right? Always want to show their ring, and I just wish that we would have just pushed a little bit more, understand the severity of it and the time really, right? Because the NFL, not for long, it's short. You got to maximize your time because there's a lot of variables in there, right? You can have a new head coach come in and say, I want to put some emphasis on offense and let go of some different players. Or you have injury. There's a whole bunch of things that can happen, right? So take advantage of the time that you have right now and put everything into it. You can do whatever you want after the season. But right now, guys, I need you. We need each other. Let's go. Let's put our energy together and let's just give 100% and see what happens. And then after, we can do what the heck we want to do. You know what I mean? But right now, let's all commit and give our time and effort to it. All those other things are going to be out there. All that other stuff's going to be out there. Trust me, it's going to be even bigger once you have that Super Bowl ring on your finger.
Man, and I think also, too, because guys do dedicate themselves. But we got to realize there's 31 other teams thinking the exact same thing. That's why it's so hard, right? Like to get to that level of success that the Chiefs has been able to, to achieve, year after year, I don't understand how rare that is. Like you said, didn't win a playoff game. And we worked our asses off. We did. We worked our butts off to try to get there. And it could have been the 2 days. It could have been all these different things. I remember Dick Vermeil, the year we was 13-3, which I think we should have won it. Probably should have won it that year. And I remember I went up to Dick because we were still doing like full practices, like, full pads.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dang God.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 15, 16 week of the season. Yeah. Bye weeks, everything. Hey, we got to buy. We're 13-3. We got to buy. I don't care. Full pads. Full pads.
Oh, dude. And listen, I remember, I think it was T. Rich. It's like, T. Rich is like, hey, man, this stuff right here got to cease. He said, Dick Vermeil's losing his mind. He's crazy. So, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe I could go up here. He bend his ear a little bit. So I go up to, coach's office. I'm like, hey, JD, come on in here. I say, Coach, how you doing? JD, you doing all right? I said, I'm doing well. I said, Coach, listen, I just want to say this, some grumblings as far as for guys that you just got your foot on our backs, our necks. Is there a way you can kind of take off them guys? And he just does this little Dick Vermeil laugh, like, he said, JD, you about the 10th guy that came in the room that said that.
Yeah.
So everybody's saying the same thing, but he had a philosophy that, look, we're going to practice tough because I want you to be a tough team. You're going to be tough in December and January. That's what we're looking for. And so what we're going to do, we're going to out-tough the competition, and that's how we're going to win. And so, man, I think, man, that year, oh my gosh, that ring eluded us. But we knew we were probably the best team in the NFL. We shouldn't have lost. It was the no punt game that we had.
I was there. Believe it or not, I was there. I mean, I was at that game. I was actually a sideline reporter for the NFL Network, and I was at that game against the Colts.
Yeah,
right? Against the Colts.
Yes.
Paid man. I think the score was like 51-50 or 49-50. I mean, it was like no defense whatsoever. And I was like, there you go. Hey, I mean, yeah, it was a crazy game, but you guys were like rolling. You guys are rolling. But you know what? I mean, you guys, man, you guys were offensively, wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But it was like that dedication, like you were just talking about, man. The 32 teams are vying for the same thing, right? The only thing that matters is that Lombardi trying to get there. And everybody's putting in their work, they're putting in their time, and a lot of teams do buy in. So it's always kind of a question when you look at certain guys, like, is this guy really buying in to what's going on? And you can kind of see it. Look, we know if a guy's buying in or not, okay? We hear, obviously the voices that's going around the league about, hey, this dude right here doesn't quite work hard at this. And so I don't hear that with the Chiefs. Let me put it that way. I never hear that coming out of that building about guys not working, other than that one time I told you about that group. And so they had to rectify that situation, and they got hit. Believe me, it got handled real quick. So, matter of fact, they went off and won the championship that year when they did it. And sometimes you got to right the ship, brother. You got to right the ship.
Well, they certainly did for sure. And there's definitely a culture going on in that locker room for the last few years. I mean, it is, you don't go into that locker room, especially a new guy, and don't buy in, because you're going to buy you a pass out quickly because this is what we do, and it's proven. I just wish that we had a Mahomes when I was playing. Man, oh man.
Absolutely. I think Marcus might have a question. Marcus, you had a question for Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie. So this week, it's like obviously the 53-man roster happened last week, and one of the big things to come out of that was we lost our main nose tackle, our main run stuffer, and right now there's kind of it's a little frenzy in Chiefs Kingdom right now as far as not having that main run stuffer, as far as the nose tackle to play opposite Chris Jones and Mike Pennell, who just signed with the Bengals. And right now, it seems like we're kind of going into this first game with, kind of what it seems like no plan. Our GM just said a couple days ago, all options are on the table, this nose tackle situation. As a linebacker, just talk about how difficult how difficult does that make life for you when you don't have that nose tackle in there to stop the run, especially when you're going against Harbaugh's team, which they make no bones about it. They want to run the ball. That's all. That's what they want to do. Between Hampton and Najee Harris, that's what they're going to do. But not having that nose tackle, how difficult does that make life for you?
Well, I would look at it very differently. actually. You know what I see? I see opportunity for somebody. Opportunity for someone to step up and create a job for themselves for many, many years. Here's an opportunity because every one of us who became a starter because of something, right? Like I became a starter because someone got hurt. And guess what? I stepped in there and I did well and I had that position for over 13 years, right? So here's an opportunity. And that's what I tell the next guy, right? Next man up. Here's your opportunity. What are you going to do with it? That's what I would say. I would get in the locker room like, okay, who's up? If you're going to be in front of me, like, what are you going to do? Are you ready? Do you want this or do you not want it? Here's your opportunity to show the world that you are the player that you think you are. Do you want it or not? Yeah. And you put it back on them, and all of a sudden you will get these players, right? Don't search. You got great talent right there. So that's what I would say. I will put it back on next man. Here's your opportunity. What do you want to do? You're going to fail or you're going to succeed? What do you want to do? I think you want to succeed. So let's go. Let's ride. Let's go. That's my mentality. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at anything else. I don't worry about that. I worry about the guys in that locker room, the guys that I have. Here's your opportunity.
So, that being said, there are some young guys that there are some questions as far as, what did they show during preseason? The guy that they got rid of, Mike Pennell, who was a stalwart right there, defensive tackle. He was a run stopper. That's why the Chiefs were probably as, proficient in, against the run last year is because of Mike Pennell. Mike Pennell played, I think, the third most snaps defensive tackle at all of them in 2024. For me, the question was, here you had a veteran guy in place, and Mike Pennell had played for 12 years, okay? And I love the youth movement. I love the opportunity, Donnie, I do. But also, too, what I understand is there's a practicality thing as well, okay? So I don't think you cut your nose to spite your face because I want to get young guys opportunity. I do, okay? Preseason, you got a little bit of opportunity. Didn't really show a whole lot. I didn't quite get, what I thought I was going to get. I always still say, man, why get rid of a guy who's played 12 years, who's learned from some of the best? He was up there with Green Bay, Detroit, with Peppers and those guys, that whole Green Bay defense. And a guy that we were talking about, a veteran guy that could show the young guys what it means, to do the job that he does, okay? Because it's like, look, I'm not going to hog my position. At a certain point, all of us got to the point where we start getting long in the tooth. Like, look, man, you're the next guy up, okay? You are. You're the next guy up. But you need to understand, when you watch me and how I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to get you prepared too. Like you were talking about Mineski. Mineski was coaching you, get you ready out there as well. So, yeah, Mineski knew. He's like, look, my time is done, okay? It's for the young guys to come in. Donnie Edwards deserves an opportunity, okay? He deserves one. The thing is, when Mike Pennell was there, he was our guy that was opposite Chris Jones, that allowed Chris Jones, defensive ends, linebackers to flow the way they need to make plays. He's the one that allowed those guys to do their job, right? It's so important. This is so important to have a defensive tackle in front of you that can just let you flow, let you play, right? You don't want to see that big old guard come downhill. You're like, man, hey, man, grab him. I don't care. Just reach out and touch somebody. Grab that guard or that tackle from coming off on that double team to come get me. If you come in from backside, all those different things, and you're filling that hole, you want to make sure you come in as clean as possible. And so Mike Pennell provided that for us. Some of the younger guys do have questions there, and I get it. Mike Pennell gets it. It's a business, right? We understand business first in the NFL. And so some people question, is it ageism? Is it this and is that? My question was, if you got a guy that is not making a whole lot of money, NFL picks up part of that contract. It ain't like he was, taking him, bending him over, right, for the money that he was making. But now all of a sudden, you kind of lose integrity with, your run, okay, defense, because a guy like this now is gone. So now you got unproven guys that's coming in this position who are young and opportunity. And you want them like, hey, man, get an opportunity. But Nick Bolton or you sitting there saying like, yo, he got an opportunity now. But you got to make it happen now. You got to grow up right now. You can't wait. I can't sit there and give you the bottle and say, hey, just, go ahead and suck on this for the first, 8 weeks. We got to come in and get this thing going. So what do you think about that? Like having an older guy that knows what to do, you know, and then you still got young guys. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we all get old in this game, right? So,
Yeah.
playing 13, 14 years in the NFL, I mean, we all get kind of old in there, and they're always trying to, like, find youth to replace us, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we always found a way to make sure that, we stayed on the field and stayed, competitive and push ourselves each and every year. But, just like you're talking about, I mean, I don't know in the real situations going on, but like there's intangibles, right? There's intangibles on a team that a lot of people on the outside don't really understand or don't really know. But
Yeah.
inside that locker room, we understand. On the field, we know that this person is very important for this person and this person to be successful, right?
Yes.
I mean, for example, Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn. I mean, you were such an important intangible to the fabric of the offense. When you guys had Trent and all, I mean, think about it. You had Tony Gonzalez,
Yeah.
you had a role, but you were irreplaceable. Trust me, if they put somebody else in there, I know, it's going to be, I mean, especially playing against you, I'm like, whoo, thank God, you know what I mean? But these are the small things. Even as a veteran, you understood, and your role was so important. But, things happen, business, and that's some things that as players, we can't worry about. As I say, don't talk about it, be about it, look at the film. You know what I mean? I can't get involved in like why things are, things like that. And I tell players like, because guys like Marcus Patton told me, don't worry about it. Here I'm, topping NFL in tackles and interceptions. I don't make the Pro Bowl. And I was upset back in 1997 and 99. And Marcus Patton was like, and he got in my face and like really like explained to me, like, don't worry about the stuff you can't control. Like it was like this. And I was like, you know what I mean? But it hit me. I'm like, you know what? He's like, do it on the field. Show them. You know what I mean? And that was really helpful for me to understand that, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of pushed me the rest of my career. These are little things that I've learned. But, there's intangibles that are important in the fabric of a team that it's hard to lose that person, right?
Right.
So I get it. But, at the end of the day, you're just a player, right? You're just one cog to the wheel, right? So you got to go by what you have and you got to make it work. You got to make it work. Understand your role, responsibility, and do your role and responsibility up to your ability that you can do. And don't worry about the other stuff.
Yeah. Agreed. That's straight wisdom right there. So what we're going to see, we're going to, I tell people, I'm like, we'll find out. We'll find out what the move is going to, what's going to, the fruits of this move in itself. Mike Pennell ended up signing with Cincinnati Bengals, obviously. And then somebody's like, oh, look, the Bengals picking up, to get a little bit of the answers, all those different things, we're going to, kind of, see what we can get out of old Mike.
But man, like I said, opportunities, it's a new opportunity for somebody else.
Yeah. Time
to step up. As we say, next man up.
Next man up.
Next man up. Let's go. What you got? Next man up.
Brother, I tell you what, I tell you what I want to switch to. I know we talk about Chiefs and the Chargers, but I actually want to kind of talk to you a little bit about some of the things that you do, from the football realm, okay, in the real world. If you could kind of talk about this a little bit, because I think it's just a noble thing that you do. I know you're getting a lot of, joy and happiness out of this, a lot of worth, man. When I see you do so many things, I'm like, man, my brother's, he's there. He's doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about it, you be about it.
Yeah.
I remember we was at one camp, we had a, kids camp, and you got up to speak and you said that, look, don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you're going to do. I was like, there it is. It's Donnie.
Yeah.
So,
but I learned that from guys before me, right? Before me, guys like Derek Thomas, guys like Junior Seau, guys like Marcus Patton, guys like Martin Bayless. It's all about learning from the guys that laid the fabric of the foundation before you, right? And then I learn it, and then I can pass it on down, and that's how you keep that environment, that culture, and the integrity of the game that we all love and play. And I've taken that to my new passion now, and that's supporting our military veterans through the Best Defense Foundation, And I tell you, the Best Defense Foundation was started right there in Kansas City. I still have some of those old banners. Some of you Chief fans know when we had the banners on Arrowhead Stadium, it was Donnie Edwards Best Defense Foundation. We had all the different foundations on there back in 2000 or 2001. And, all these years later, the Best Defense Foundation that started with Brenda Sneezick. She's the one who, yeah, she brought me into the office, and, and I've learned so much from her. And, I'm just really proud that the Best Defense Foundation is going strong all these years later. So I'll just share a little bit about my new passion about supporting veterans. We honor, recognize, and celebrate our military veterans. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the Olympics last year. There's a 30-minute documentary that was narrated by no other than Matt Damon, right? Saving Private Ryan himself, talking about veterans going back to Normandy. And it was our organization that provides this opportunity, taking veterans back. And it's amazing because I started taking World War II veterans back to their battlefields for 20 years. Started a long time ago, just from a simple conversation, just out of the goodness of my heart. And let alone fast forward all these years, we have a full-blown 501c3 foundation that's it's been to Iwo Jima, Saipan, Tinian, Guam. I mean, Normandy. We took 50 World War II veterans to Normandy for the 80th anniversary. We just got back in June with 25 World War II veterans, and getting ready to to embark over to Germany for an NFL game on November 9th at the Olympic Stadium. It's the Atlanta Falcons against the Indianapolis Colts. It's going to be the I think 36th, 37th anniversary of the wall going down, and this is it's the first football game in the Olympic Coliseum where the Olympics were, right, and Jesse Owens got all those gold medals. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really special. It's the first field where the 82nd Airborne played the first American football. Because in Europe, football is the other sport, right? You kick the ball, right? But it's the first time to play American football. So yeah, it's been really great. I mean, but on top of that, we also do a transition program as well for our special forces. We do this in Utah. It's called the Stronghold Program. It's life after the uniform, because all of us are affected by that, right? And the men and women in uniform, we got to make sure we don't turn their back on them. So we provide some programs, some services, and resources to help them with that transition. We also include NFL players. I'd love to get you out there at 10,000 feet. We just had my former teammate John Tate out there a couple weeks ago. Well, actually last week, last week. So Stronghold Program, and we also do a next gen education program where we bring next gen students from 18 to 23 with us on program to learn from where history was created, from the veterans themselves, because it makes sure that we understand that they are the future. They have to understand the past before so we don't make the same mistakes moving forward. So, I mean, these are the three programs that we have with the Best Defense Foundation, and I'm just truly proud to have an incredible team that is part of this mission, and I encourage everybody to go check out our website. It's bestdefensefoundation.org, or either go to YouTube as well. We have over 150 videos on YouTube. You can hear it, not from me, but you can hear it from the veterans that we have affected, and giving them opportunity for closure, camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood as well. And, we'll love to have your support. It truly makes a difference. And, we just want to continue to do it, because we cannot turn our backs on our veterans when they take the uniform off. And I want to continue, doing that. And I tell you, it means a lot to me. I'm born and raised here in San Diego. Those of you that know about San Diego, it's a big military town. You got the big Navy base, you got the Marine Corps base there, and all my family served in the military. Notably, my grandfather, Maximino Razzle, who is a Pearl Harbor survivor, Native American, who told me that anything is possible in America. Work hard, go after it. There's tremendous opportunity. We fought hard for the opportunity that we're going to give you, and it doesn't matter, where you come from. It is possible. And I'm just one little small example of living what he said in the American dream, right? Because, coming from a big family and, a kind of challenging upbringing, to be able to go to UCLA, to earn a master's degree, and to play football all these years gives me this tremendous platform to serve and to give back to others, right? Using my platform and my influence to serve our veterans who gave kids like me an opportunity. you know, and I don't forget that. This is my way of saying thank you and giving back. And I love to have your support. So go to our website and be part of our team, be part of our mission of serving. And like I said, you know, we don't talk about it, we be about it.
Be about it. Man. Donnie, I tell you what, man, I love your heart, the things that you do. You know, obviously what you stand for. My father was in the military. Actually, he was in 2 branches of service. You could do that back then. Yeah. And so he was actually in Korea, and then he was in World War II. And so him and his brother, he had an 8th grade education, went to the service, and he raised all his younger brothers and sisters. And I come from a big family too. He came from a family of 13. Wow. 2 oldest brothers went, put all his brothers and sisters through school. And then, of course, I'm the youngest out of 11. And same thing, I had a brother, you know, was in the Air Force. He was out there at the George Air Force Base out in California. So I have a passion and a heart for those things, because I understand that these, you know, people that serve us, we got to serve them back. And one of the things that we do on this show is we give our heart to people. We do a lot of it through prayer, or the things that they ask that we can do, however we can be in service to people, we're going to do it. And one thing that we always say, one of our mottos is love people the way you're supposed to love them. That's what you're supposed to do. And then, we're not supposed to leave people behind. And so we want to be able to shoulder each other's burdens. And that's one of our themes that we have on this show. And the people that you see that's on here tonight, we're a big family. We call it Chiefs Concerns, the Chiefs Concerns family, and we care about one another. And so, man, when you put this thing out here, believe me, people are going to listen. They're going to come in and come check these things out, brother. I seen on here, Susan was on here. She said, "What's up to you?" Earlier. So, you know, she was sitting there, and I just tell you what, man, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. And this just incredible just to see the things you're doing, your journey that you have in itself. But I told you, man, just the character of who you are, what you've always stood for, man, I just love you. I just love you, man. And like I said, man, just keep doing the things, and they just mad respect. So before we get you out of here, because I know your time is tight, I know these things you probably hold you longer than what we think. I told Marcus is like, well, we told Donnie's going to be on 35. I said, look, man, I get it. I said, man, but if I get a chance to talk to my brother real quick, man, it might go a little bit longer than what we expected. Okay? This might go that way. Okay. So first of all, I apologize with the time, man. You know how I am with my time. So, you know, we enjoy ourselves when we get together. But we got to get to the prediction of this game. We got to think, man, where are you at with this? What do you think it's going to turn into for this? Yeah, these 2 teams right here, baby. What are you thinking? Huh? And why? What do you got?
Well, I'm very simple. You know, these are my 2 families, right? So I have 2 kids that are playing against each other, right? So those of you who have family out there, you have kids that are playing against each other, who are you going to root for? You know, which one's your favorite child, right? Right. I mean, you root for both of them for sure. So, you know, these are my 2 teams that I love for sure. And, you know, what I do, I root for defense. Yeah. I'm a defensive guy. I root for defense.
Yeah,
I root for defense. Yeah, I root for defense. You know, I'm a defensive guy, and it's one of these deals where, like, you know, which one's your favorite kid, right? And I think those of you have kids out there, you tell me which one's your favorite kid. I know some of you are probably laughing like, I do have a favorite kid.
I tell all my kids they're my favorite one. Each one is, oh, you're my favorite. Oh, you're my favorite. Oh, you're my favorite. So
yeah, no, but it's gonna be an exciting game. You know, I'm gonna be watching it for sure. You know, down there in Brazil. I mean, you got, you know, the perennial Chiefs, you know, who've been a staple, a foundation for many, many years now. And then, you know, the Harbaugh team, second year with Harbaugh now, you know, bringing his atmosphere and environment that we talked about before. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's been successful, right? So this is his next stint, and, you know, to see what he can do. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it for sure, and to see where it goes. You know, so I know that the defense is going to win.
Oh.
Defense wins championships, right? That was the saying back in the day.
I got you, my brother. I got you, man. Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, hey Marcus, do you have anything else with Donnie? And
No, Donnie covered a lot. I will also add the Best Defense Foundation website to our description on the episode, so you guys be able to check that out. But no, Donnie, it was awesome meeting you, getting to hear you, and like everybody else, I echo everybody else in the chat. It's an honor to be part of this conversation with you two guys, two dudes that I grew up idolizing. So it's awesome to be able to have you on the show, Donnie.
Well, that's really nice. Thanks for having me. Really great to meet you, Marcus and Jason. I mean, it's just good to talk to you. I mean, this is like, I know it went long, but this is us back in the locker room talking again, talking about, all these, all these great things. So it's always a pleasure. But, going back to what you said, I was thinking about, chief concerns and, our model for the Best Defense Foundation is taking care of the ones who took care of us. Taking care of the ones who took care of us. So you think about that in life, right? You can look at it however you want to look at it. If it's grandparents, parents, players that have served us before, whatever, veterans, you know what I mean? So taking care of the ones who took care of us. And I think it is really aligned what you guys are doing here on the podcast. So keep up the good work, man. Love you guys. And Jason, I'll see you soon, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Love you, Donnie, man. Take care. Please give me my best. Hope you're doing well. All right. So I'll see you soon, man. All right.
Buddy.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Take it easy, Donnie. Well, that was a blast. I hope everybody, I know everyone in the chat was enjoying that, but that was amazing. That was really cool. Awesome. I loved Donnie, like talking to you, like forgetting where he was, breaking character, getting back to the locker room. that was fantastic.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I tell you what, that's my brother, man. Anytime you just see Donnie, you can't help but smile. I mean, really. I mean, he just lights up the room just with his personality and his character and just who he is. Like I said, that's my brother, man. I love him dearly. And it is, it is family. When we talk about those bonds that you develop over the years and the time that you have with one another, those things are special. Those things are absolutely special. And so, I talk to a lot of guys now that I play with, even play against, still, run into guys at golf settings. Obviously we have the NFLPA getting together, with the union and stuff like that. It's always a blast. And then there's a lot of guys, obviously, like I told you, got into coaching. A lot of guys from the NFL got into coaching as well. So I run into those dudes, man. It is a brotherhood. No question about it, is a brotherhood. And I know we didn't quite get into the whole Chiefs and Chargers, but there's a lot of history there. Teams are similar. There's a lot of respect because we know this is just a long time rivalry. Okay. That's been, kind of back and forth. This is going to be a tough game for us. But for the Chiefs, we talked about culture. We talked about things that are in place. There is consistency there. And I do believe with the Chiefs and the consistency that they have with the coaches, the players, the expectations, without a doubt, I think the Chiefs are going to be able to win this thing. We're going to get to the predictions a little bit later to talk about those things, man. But I tell you what a joy. What a joy, man, just to see my bro, man, and see him doing, the good work that he's doing out there as well. So shout out. So yeah, check out the Best Defense Foundation, the Stronghold uniform deal that he's doing. He's doing some great work out there. And like you said, man, take care of the ones that took care of us.
Yep, so. Exactly. And like I said, when the episode's over, I will link that in the description for our podcast as well as our YouTube channel. So you guys can go check that out. Again, awesome having Donnie Edwards on. It was a great conversation, because it was obviously we talked a little bit about Chargers Chiefs and some of the things we're going through as Chiefs fans right now with the whole nose tackle linebacker situation. And I loved his answer. That's a real ball player, JD. That answer that he had there, he says he has an opportunity, and I could see him talking to the young defensive tackles in the room, talking about like how he just talked to us about it, talking to those guys in the locker room if he was still playing. Yeah. So I thought that was a great answer, and hopefully Nick Bolton is doing that to the young bucks in the defensive tackle room.
And Donnie will tell him, but you better take advantage of it too. So as opportunity, these things don't come along that often in the NFL. You got opportunity, take full advantage of that opportunity. So that's good words to absolutely looking at it in a different way, a different light, for sure. So we're going to see the test of it when it comes on Friday, what it's going to look like. So, we'll see. These guys are going to be put to the test. That's for daggone sure.
Yeah. 2 days, baby, 2 days. So, all right, guys. So, with the next segment of our show, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and JD is going to get set up for the thing everyone's been talking about for the last 2 months. I feel like everyone at least one day goes in the chat, says, we need keys to victory. We need keys to victory. And Jay says, tear off his Dunamania shirt.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Keys to victory. It's about that time. Okay. Yeah. I love it.
So we'll take a quick commercial break, and JD will get set up, and I'll probably come back and wait for JD to give us the thumbs up, and then we'll begin for the 10 keys to victory. I cannot wait. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this game. It's gonna be a good one. So I'm curious to see, and of course get everybody in the mood. I know Donnie kind of gave us in a locker room kind of vibe with talking to you. So now it's coach is coming in, and coach is going to the whiteboard, and now he's going to tell everybody what their job, what their role is for Friday. So that's what this is now. So it's another transition to coach coming in. Everyone that coach talking.
Absolutely. So that's a good deal. All righty.
All right. So we're going to toss to our sponsor, Delete Me, as JD gets ready for our keys to victory. So here we go. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online. And in today's world of constant surveillance and data breaches, that matters more than ever. Your personal data is being treated like a commodity. Data brokers collect your name, address, even information about your family, and then sell it online for profit. That can open the door to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But Delete Me helps you protect yourself by removing your data from hundreds of data broker sites. The New York Times' Wirecutter even named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me, and I don't like the idea of information being passed around for profit. And Delete Me gives me peace of mind knowing I have more control. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting PRO to 64,000. That's PRO to 64,000. Message and data rates apply. All right, everybody. So I took my sweater off, and I'm getting a Donnie Edwards vibe right here as I wait for our coach to come out of the coach's office to give us a nice pep talk for this Friday night game. I gotta love it. A little Friday Night Lights action. I know my brother was coming over here. Not Teja, my other brother asked me, "How do you feel about a Friday night game?" I was like, you know what? It's not so bad. I'll take a Friday night game. It's it kind of reminds me of the old high school days of gearing up for a Friday Night Lights kind of game. Obviously, I'm not playing in it. A little different, but nonetheless, I don't mind it so much. I mean, we're used to Thursday night games now because we win the Super Bowl every year. So Friday it's not too different there. All right, let's see what everyone is saying in the chat as we wait for our guy JD. Sasha, success is when preparation meets opportunity. Okay, yeah, for sure. Like Donnie said, like it's somebody else's opportunity, and with Mike Pennell gone, now it's somebody else's time to step up. And as much as we love Mike Pennell, guys like Derek Nottie, if we do elevate Broderick Martin or Zach Pickens, it's their time as well. So we're gonna see it. Also, Omar Norman Lott, can he be that guy? I mean, we did draft him pretty early, so could he be that guy? That wasn't his thing. What being a run stuffer wasn't really his thing coming out of college. But you never know. She sees something in him, and we're about to find out if he can be that guy. So it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, someone's opportunity for sure. Justin Blackwell, Bolton doesn't say much in interviews, but he's the D captain for a reason. Oh yeah, and 100%. What we just saw with Donnie Edwards, guys, that's what Nick Bolton is doing, and I hope Nick Bolton's doing that. That's what he's doing in the locker room with the young guys. So I have a full confidence in what Nick Bolton is doing with the guys in the defense. So yeah, he's like we talked about Chris Jones being the captain, and also too, you got Nick Bolton, but you also have Chris Jones. So he's definitely talking to the young bucks on the defensive tackle side as well to get them ready for Monday or for Friday, because it's their time to shine, whoever that may be. Demetrius Spence, let's go. Keys to victory. Cannot wait. No, yeah. I think a lot of people waited for this since it was after once a mini camp started, and it was okay, we're getting to the end of the week here. It's we need JD to give us his spiel, his speech. But we had preseason go, and it felt like we needed it, but it's not time yet. And yeah, we're getting a little earlier. Usually during the regular season, we have it on Friday nights, but because we play Friday night this week, we have to do it tonight. So yeah, next week we'll be back. Or the keys to victory and the betting show will be Friday. So there's a little break from our Wednesday preview show to the Friday show. So yeah, tonight you're getting a little action-packed one. So it's gonna be a good one. Justin Blackwell keys, baby. Oh yeah. Sasha, I'm getting on the treadmill. Uh-oh. People are getting pumped up and jacked up for this, JD. Getting a little workout, getting a little pump in for this. G-Pick, let's go. Oh, yeah, baby. Richie Hall, good to see you, Stu. Hope you are doing well. Oh, Stu's in here. All right, Stu. Hope Stu's doing well, buddy. I hope you're recovering well, my man. Hope you're doing well. Rustus Andrew. Actually, I have used Delete Me. It actually works pretty well, and I know I'm not a sponsor. There you go. All right, we got some people, liking the sponsors of the show. There you go, guys. You see that? Rustus Android has given his 2 cents on Delete Me, so he's a big fan. So there you go. Justin Black, wish we could get everyone's keys clacking as JD's intro. Well, that's another one, guys. We have a nice little intro for the Welcome to the Dungeon segment. So yeah, be ready for that. Hunter Brown, just hope you just didn't have bandwidth issues. That is a good point. I haven't thought about that because, like, what was it? It was the Tyson fight on Netflix where they had the whole bandwidth issues and some people couldn't see it at all. It was that Jake Paul Tyson fight. I mean, YouTube should be ready for this. I mean, you gotta figure there's a million people, like millions of people on YouTube every day of the week, and every hour and every minute. So like they don't usually have bandwidth issues. So I mean, shit, they've had bandwidth issues, I'm sure, in the past. But like as far as they have to be ready for this. If any website is ready for it, it would be Google. So yeah, Google and YouTube will have it ready. Russ's Android lot is no Pinnell. No, he's not. He's not. But that's the thing is we don't know what lot is, right? There's a little mystery there, a little intrigue and mystery with the our guys. So yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what ONL can do, what Lot can do. So let's see. There's still time. Justin Blackwell, square peg meet round hole with Lot. Well, again, that's one thing. You can't actually our guy Teja's in the background right now. So I think Teja's, you can talk to us about that. What's up, Tej? Can you hear me, buddy?
What up? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, it's regular season time, baby. I don't know if you got a chance to watch in the Donnie Edwards portion of the show earlier. He was on here. It was fantastic. And the guy still looks like he could play linebacker for us. And he was a big fan. I rolled up the 59 jersey for him tonight. And he was
that's great.
He's a big fan of that.
I bet.
But he had an interesting, we asked him, we talked that JD was kind of going down memory lane, just talking about just stuff about his career and playing for the Chargers and the Chiefs. But one thing I did ask was about the whole Mike Pinnell situation, just how that impacts the linebacker. And his whole response was, I see it differently, right? I see it as somebody else's opportunity. I'm thinking about the young guys who need to step up for that spot. And I loved it because it was very leader in the locker room kind of talk. Like, like he's gone now, somebody else's time to make a name for themselves kind of deal. And I mean, I've seen people in the chat, people don't seem really high on Omar Norman Lott, which I don't think is fair because we haven't really seen him yet, right? And like no one's really seen him next to 95 yet because no one saw 95 until that last preseason game. So I think there's a chance that Omar Norman Lott could be the real deal. He was a second round pick for a reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't draft him to come in and stuff the run. If we wanted to do that, we would have picked up like a 5th round, 350-pound tank back there. Then we're hoping he.
Your audio, you muted your mic, buddy. Your mic is muted. Uh-oh. No, your audio's not working.
Back?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. I mean, yeah, we drafted him to be a pass rusher. We didn't draft him to stuff the run. We knew that when he came in. I mean, he only had 70 something run defense snaps. So we're hoping he can build up to that in time. He showed he could do that. He's got the potential, but that's not what we got him for. I don't know. Separate issue. I don't know about our depth at that type of role, but we'll see, man. It's not a problem until it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
And probably could pick up your boy Watson, who's still, I think, available.
Poor guy. I feel bad for that guy. Apparently, all throughout like training camp, mini camp, they just had him like every time they showed a clip of him, he was just running around the practice field in Tampa. So like, yeah, we'll see what happens with my guy Watson, which I'm sure there's other guys out there. And also, like I know JD's very psyched about Broderick Martin, the Western Kentucky defensive tackle. I think we talked about him when we did our draft coverage a couple of years ago. That was a guy that we talked about. I mean, it didn't really pan out with Detroit, and I know a lot of Lions fans thought they gave up on him a little too early, to be quite honest with you. So, like, there could be something there. I want to know, like, what if those practice squad guys traveled with the team to Brazil? I know the injury guys didn't, but I wonder how many of those practice squad guys did travel with the team to Brazil. We'll have to ask JD about that when he comes back on, because I'm curious if that's a thing. Do practice squad guys travel out of the country?
It's not like we knew we were getting a Pennell when we got him. So I mean, we can potentially find a Pennell somewhere else, right? Martin can very well turn into that. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I remember we brought back Pennell. I was like, okay, he's more like a veteran kind of a stopgap guy. And then like he ended up being what he was for the last few years for us, and like just a all around beast stopping the run. Yeah, the way that whole situation played out was, I guess for me, and I know people were like commented saying just trust Veach. It's not. I don't not trust Veach. For me, it's the way it's kind of played out, where it's like, you know, Veach is said in this quote, right? Oh, maybe at the end of the season kind of thing. And then like, you know, let's see what happens. All options are on the table. It's like, okay, well, now you went from like having a guy who we did know at the very least will stop the run to having as on all options are on the table approach it a couple days before the playoffs, or not playoffs, week 1 of the regular season. That for me is just it was weird. It was weird. That's something that you hear from like a GM of like the Panthers, not Brett Veach. But again, Brett Veach also is a king of not saying anything while saying something too. So like he may just being vague in an interview with the Chiefs Digest. So,
I saw a comment that we drafted Lott to stop the run. No. If you watch our shows around the draft coverage, that was like our one big knock on him, was that he didn't do that at all. Never even really tried. So, and one of the things that we talked about even then was it that he can't do it, or was it for whatever reason at Tennessee he wasn't asked and wasn't, told to do it or even try? So, not to say that's a good or bad thing, but it's going to take time to get him involved to even see if he can do it, and then see why he can't do it, and then work with him. So he's a project, but you get him. So in the meantime, what he does well, he can see the field and do that. Right. It's like a receiver who can't run a route tree, but like he can just run flies all day long. You have him do that, while in the meantime, you teach him the nuances of how to be good at that position, right? So it's just, it'll take some time. It's not fair just to look at the highest drafted D tackle we have this year, be like, Pennell, and what you did well in college. That's ridiculous. So you can't do that. So,
well, I do remember you and JD did talk about, while he didn't get a lot of run stop snaps, you guys did see there was. It's not like he can't do it at all. He has a framework to do it. He just didn't do it a lot. So it's more like there's not a lot of sample size.
I mean, when you only have like 70 snaps in college, it's not gonna be a lot to look at. But there were times he held up the point of attack really well. He held up double teams pretty well. He just didn't do it a lot. So anyone drafting it wasn't doing it for that. They're hoping you could develop that. Here I am, baby. You're hoping you can do that over time. So I'm not looking at him to become that right now, not for any time soon. But it's just it's unfortunate what happened with Pennell. I'm upset too.
Yeah, that's one thing, and I hope he sees that. He's all over social media or Instagram. He definitely sees what's being said out there. But I definitely think he appreciates Chiefs Kingdom, because for the most part, everyone's been like, man, we're going to miss Mike Pennell. We're going to miss Mike Pennell. So like, sometimes those unsung hero veterans usually don't get their due, but I'm glad he is getting his due as far as, Chiefs Kingdom, being, having his back.
And yeah, to Don's point, we want it. I'm not saying we don't expect him to come in after under 100, like around 100 snaps playing run defense in college to become our our run stuffer. Like, yeah, we want him to get there. First, you got to get him the size that he needs to put up with it, and then you got to teach him everything else. Technique, the strength. He's got good explosion, but that's only going to help you so much when you're plugging lanes, right? He needs to become a man. He needs to become a man out there and get used to NFL speed, get used to NFL size and strength. And, he hardly even went against it in college. So now he's got to get used to that on a down, not even a down by down, because we're not going to put him out there like that. But just in the NFL against that level of competition, stopping the run. So it's going to take time. I'm not going to flip out if he's not our every down D tackle anytime soon. It's just, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah,
Don.
totally.
Yeah, he needs to get used to that weight too. Yeah, he's been playing 30 pounds with 20 to 30 pounds lighter than it's a definitely something he's got to get used to as well.
It'll take time. So what's probably going to happen, just my guess, he'll put on a lot of weight. He'll hold up better against a point of attack, hold up double teams better. He'll lose some of the explosion and speed. So then his pass rushing will suffer a little bit. So he's going to lose some weight and try to get some of that back. And that's going to be a little, a back and forth for a little while until he can find the good medium between his explosion and strong enough to be out there and not be a liability against the run.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. All right. Okay, guys. Well, it's that time. Without further ado, we're going to go into the dungeon for JD's week 1 of the 2025 season, keys to victory.
Lock in, Chiefs Kingdom, Jason Dunn's dropping dimes. 10 keys to victory, is football time. He's been in the trenches, he's battled the best. Breaking down the matchups, forget all the rest. From a host to the defense, the blueprint is clear. JD's got the knowledge that the fans want to hear. Keys to the game, straight from a pro. How the Chiefs take the win, he's letting you know. Lock in, Chiefs Kingdom, Jason Dunn's dropping dimes. 10 keys to victory, is football time.
You best believe the Chiefs are down there for business and blood. What is up? What is up? I tell you what, when I come out here and I give you the keys to victory, I'm trying to find things in my personal life that relates to football a lot. They say football parallels life. Okay. And it does in a lot of ways. Football's taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me a lot about other people. It's taught me a lot about teamwork. It's taught me a lot about grit, compassion, determination. It's just given me a gift that continues to keep on giving. Welcome to the dungeon. Now, I tell you what, this contest that we're about to go down, where we're down in Brazil against the Chargers, it's a good contest for us. This is a game that will help determine who guys are. We're going to find out if guys are going to bow their back up. We're going to find out if some of the young bloods that we had gotten in the draft are what they saw. We're going to find out if some of the veterans are not complacent. If they made a decision to get the job done. This is a long time coming. At the end of the season, when guys were despondent and beaten up And it was a lot of laughs. It was a lot of doubt. It was a lot of like, I told you so's. See, the Chiefs were pretenders last year. Look how they got handled. If somebody else had played in the Super Bowl, it would have been different. The Chiefs, they tricked everybody. They tricked the fans and all the pundits that came out and they were talking on, I told you Saul was right. And that's all we heard during the offseason. We heard that Patrick Mahomes were overrated. We heard that Travis Kelce was too old. He'd been doing too much off the field. He wasn't the same guy, just a shell of himself. We were told that Chris Jones wasn't worth the salt. He gives up on a lot of plays. He doesn't play through everything. Then he got fat on his contract. Decided to take plays off. He's talking about our receiving core and how, you threw one bomb at the end of the game that didn't mean anything. And, hey, we gave you this touchdown. That's all I heard during the offseason. And look, I used to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I started my career up there. I still had a lot of friends that played up there, that had their careers still live up that way. Had full conversations with them during the offseason. And all I did was I sat back silent. I'm like, yeah, okay, you got us. You did. Okay. Very good game. Actually, on our side, we didn't show up the way that we should have. We knew that. It was an opportunity that we missed. But one thing I know, and one thing I've been expecting coming into this season, it was going to be a revenge tour. We were quiet about it. We said we took that game and we threw it away, threw it in the trash. It's behind us now. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about a revenge tour. We're just going to go out and play football. Well, I'll tell you what. The guys in the Chiefs locker room have way too much pride. They may say, we don't care too much about the game. It's all over. Come back next year. Well, these guys came back with a renewed spirit. Travis Kelce said, you know what? Maybe I wasn't the best. But I'm going to make sure I am this year. The man decided to go and get himself in the shape that he used to be in, dedicate himself to the sport, decided to get on one knee and decided to have a beautiful gal in his life. Glad it worked out. As all season, Travis Kelce is on a mission. Patrick Mahomes, they kept saying, he's done lost it. He doesn't have the numbers. Matter of fact, let's go to the top 10 quarterbacks. Who's the best quarterbacks in the business? And almost in every single list, they've shown everybody else but PM15. Not the guys that got the cachet who have been to the mountaintop to win it. They keep putting them on the pedestal. I keep hearing Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. They even bring in Justin Herbert. And sometimes they bring in Baker Mayfield, who got ran out of Cleveland, talking about how good he is. but it seems to always move past PM 15 as being one of the best. I watched one of my greatest quarterbacks that I love, Joe Montana, who was coming out of his slumber, being asked on the Pat McAfee show, who, if he had it today to start a franchise with, who would it be? We're going to give you Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy that's a no-brainer. Who else you going to bring? Joe Montana is sitting there. He's like, oh, shit, what is going on? Joe Montana is trying to shake out the cobwebs. He's like, I guess the guy up there in Buffalo didn't even know his name. And maybe the guy that's in Philly, Joe Burrow, yeah, because everybody got to say Joe Burrow, because I've been hearing it all season that Joe Burrow's, he's the guy. Let me see, who else? Oh, yeah, the guy in San Diego, too. He's pretty good. And I'm like, okay. Well done, Joe Montana. I know they kind of put you on the spot and they got you a little discombobulated by giving you Brock Purdy as a franchise quarterback. Then I'm sure you were sitting there thinking, this guy right here couldn't even wash my jockstrap. But they're going to put him in my corner. But the name that was missing from Joe's lips was the most accomplished quarterback in the past 8 years. The most accomplished quarterback in the short time than all the greats that you want to put up there. Who you want? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, John L. Who you want to name? The most accomplished quarterback that had a playoff record of 17-4. Somehow name is not mentioned. And all I want to do is say, hey, man, Joe, go back to sleep. This is a bad dream. They didn't have to do you like that. Maybe once you get up and you're like, okay, I get my senses back to me, I'm starting with PM 15. Any other name besides his starting as a franchise quarterback is criminal. And it's absolutely disrespectful. So this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're going to get this whole offseason. We had Colin Cowherd, who comes on with every tape that he possibly can give. He just throws things on the wall, hoping everything sticks. Andy Reid has made Patrick Mahomes, and he's had the best possible opportunity than any other quarterback to start his career. He leaves out all the other guys that profited off great defenses, great coordinators. He said Patrick Mahomes actually, back in the past, he said Patrick Mahomes really wasn't coordinator dependent, but now all of a sudden he is. Okay. All right, Colin, I hear you. Behind your desk, you keep sitting right there. You keep sitting right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you right now about this keys to victory, okay? I'm a bit long-winded right now. I really didn't want to get into it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into these keys to victory because these things are important about this win down there in Brazil. We're going to talk about some of these things. Now, let's start offensively. What do we want to do offensively? Do the Chiefs look like the same Chiefs? Somebody said, Will Collins, the dynasty is over. They don't look like the same team they're done with. Come on, Will. You don't believe that. You don't even believe the words coming out of your mouth. I can see it. You almost had a daggone stroke thinking about it, saying that like that. You knew you was lying when it came out your mouth. You knew it. You knew it. That's all right. How we get down with this victory. Offense, number one. Keys to victory. Offense. First thing you got to think about. Well, guess what? We don't have Rashee Rice. We finally find out Rashee Rice is going to be missing a few games for us. About time. Fine. Good. Let's get it over with. Fine. Rashee Rice is not playing. That's okay. We will be fine. Why? Because we got number one. We got number 5. We got number 2. We got Taekwondo Thor. We got number 9. Okay? Wide receiver Rashee Rice is not playing. Who is stepping up? That's the question. I named them. Number 1, number 5, number 9, number 2. Who else we got? We got Remigio. Who else we need to name? And we got enough. We got enough. So they don't think we're going to go deep with these, okay? I'll tell you what. All of this, 1, 5, 2, 9, you know what that equals? Speed. We got speed demons out here. Speed is who we got. We can run any secondary. We're faster than any defense. We could burn any DB, any safety. It doesn't matter who lines up against us. We will torture. And when we decide not to torture, throw a couple of back shoulder throws. We've seen some of that preseason. Guess what? That's coming again. Guess what? We got a new bag. We got a new bag of tricks. Yes, we do. Get ready for it. But got it. We know wide receiver's going to be one. Number 2. No 2 things. I didn't talk about it. Talked about our tight end. 8-7. He's back in business. Guess what? And he means business. And he means business too. 8-7 ain't taking no time off. He got a renewed spirit. And I've said this. I could be completely wrong. But 8-7 is coming out here for a revenge tour. He's coming out here to win the whole thing. He's taking no prisoners. Everybody think he's out. He's washed up. He ain't the same guy. Guess what? He got a renewed spirit. He got a new guy. Just bought a big old fat rock I seen out there. Woo! 8-7 is ready. Then we talk about Noah Gray. Right? We talk about Jared Rowley. We talk about Robert Tonyan. We talk about the tight ends. That's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Tight ends is going to run the game. That's another thing that we got. We got weapons. I keep going. Number 3 thing, weapons. Wide receivers, tight end, let's go running backs. RBs. Woo! Guess who's back? Pacheco is back. The man's bigger, stronger, more elusive. He's running harder. He's muscled up and he's ready to go. He is muscled up and he's ready to go. 10 is ready to run over somebody. And I'll tell you right now, linebackers and everybody else, you better watch your neck. You better watch it. Because 10's coming for you. And guess who else we got? We got Hunt back there. Marks like to call him Hunt for Red October. I love that name for him. We're going to send him out there like a heat-seeking missile. Hunt for Red October was about the nuclear submarines. I want him to go nuclear on Friday. Is what I want to see from Hunt. Okay? Best 3rd yard down in the business. Back in the business. Got to come back cooking for us. Number 4 thing we have to see. Oh, young bloods. You know how to name them? Young bloods. Offensive tackles, guards, okay? And then we got the vets. Guess what they are? A whole line is a bunch of bullies. That's what they are. Young bloods, offensive tackle, guards, vets, and the whole line's offensive bullies. That's all they are. So we're going to put them to the test too. It's a great test for them guys. We got a franchise offensive tackle. We did with Josh Simmons. We found out a whole lot about our left guard and King Suma. He showed he could get the job done. If you doubt it, come watch this Friday. And then you know what everybody else is going to do. We know that. Bet-wise, we got the best center in the game. We got the best right guard in the business. We got an offensive tackle who's still dirty, who's nasty out here, and Juwan Taylor, who's back, does a great job out there. I trust these guys. Guess what? They're going to come and hit you in the mouth. That's what our tackle's going to do. Number 5 thing, okay? Already done talked about it. The PM15 feels the disrespect. He feels it. I want everybody to keep talking. I want everybody to keep leaving his name out. He notices that. He notices it. He's got a new haircut. He's come back, got his fundamentals all back together. The man, all he does is make plays. We see how it's going to end. PM15 feels that disrespect. And he's coming out there for blood. That's what's going to happen. That's what it's going to be. That's going to be the keys to victory. PM15 feels the disrespect. I'm looking against these Chargers, at least 6 TDs. That's what I'm looking at. At least 6 TDs against this team. Down in Brazil. That's what it's going to be. Now, let's go to the defensive side of the football. This is what we're going to get back here. And I told you, listen, this is the first day, first keys to victory. Taking a little while, but I'm a little pissed off at this, okay? There's a lot of disrespect going on there. So we run through the defense real quick. But it's all right. This is to be expected. Why is it going to be disrespected? Because they hate what they fear. They can't stand the Chiefs because of the success. We know that. And that's all right. Truly, it is. Defensively, what's it going to take? Well, let's go. We sat there and said, we know one thing we got to test is that defensive line. We done talked about Mike Pennell. He's no longer with us. But like Donnie Edwards said on the show earlier, it's about opportunity. There's opportunity right there, gentlemen. Guess what? CJ is back in the saddle. '95. He's back. And guess what? He got a whole posse with him. He got the posse with him. Benahu, we're talking about Ashton, Gelati. We're speaking about Kalafkis, Dana. You know, Nandi is back. Jared Tillery is new. He's bringing everybody with him. One guy I'm looking at, that's what I'm keeping my eyes on. Right there. That's what I want to see. Galactus, do your thing, baby. Do your thing. You know, every time I come up here, I'm gonna put a name. Hey, the stats up here. This is the guy I want to see this week on defense. I'm ready for George Flockers to step up. He just got paid. Go get him. Chris challenged him during training camp. Go get 15 sacks. They just paid you good money. Go get more. And I believe that. This is the guy I wanted here. When we asked during that draft, who you want here, JD, I said this guy, George Flockers from Purdue. And we got him here. Number two thing, what is it going to take? Well, we said, what do we have to do? Stop the run. Period. Stop the run. For our keys to victory, to beat this team, we got to stop the run. We got embarrassed during the preseason against Seattle Seahawks. They had everybody run the football. They almost looking at the stands. Do you want to take a chance? You want to turn? It was embarrassing. Now D-line knew that. So now the opportunity that Donnie was talking about, the young guys, we need to stop the run. Period. We need to stop the run. Number three. Yes, sir. Linebackers have to play downhill. Our linebackers have to play downhill. They do a good job of throwing. But if they decide to run up the gut, A and B gap, they decide to run that zone, that stretch, whatever it may be, our guys got to come downhill and hit that center or that guard dead in the mouth and take you straight off his feet. I'm waiting for 32 to have a game. That's what I'm looking at. 32's coming out to mean business. Got a little sparing time preseason. This game, he's about to go crazy. Welcome to the NFL, Boston. If we need to cover some guys, we get Boss in there. Throw him out there. He's got it. He can do it. Give him the green dot. Let him have it. He can handle it. He's ready for it. That's why we got him here. Number 4. Secondary, get it done. Didn't want to have a lot of like Trent McDuffie talking about his contract. We wanted to get rid of all of that. Hey, that right there in itself, we'll handle that during off season. Let these guys go ball. Fulton is out there. Uh-oh. Gets his own squad. He's going to be ready to ball. Jalen Watson is back from his injury. He's ready to ball. We got ballers out there. Our secondary. Hicks, Connors, Cook, you name it. Williams. We got guys. And they ready to ball out there. It's going to be a good test. They got Lab McConkley as one of the top receivers. I'm like, man, okay. Put an end to that. He had a good game against us all last year. We're going to stop that up. Shut that down. Number 5. Handle the noise. They say we're not good enough. We ain't got the same defense. Ain't the same guys. What are the Chiefs gonna do? Do we have to go back and try to outscore everybody? Put a zillion points on the board? Because the defense don't look the same. They lost Justin Reed, and the secondary is in shambles. We don't quite know, and our defensive line is untested. Worry about none of that noise. Let's go out there and go play. Now, make it real simple. from this point on, I'm going to challenge each and every one of you as fans. When you go out here, it's real simple. You're either all in or you're all out. You're all in or you're all out. You make a decision where it's going to be. See, one thing I do know is this. People that are afraid doubt themselves. The people that are arrogant doubt others. If you're afraid this season, you bite your nails because it gets too close, oh my gosh, what the Chiefs and all this going to do, stuff like that, I need for you to find something else to do. We ain't got time for scary business. And we got time for shaky folks. So either you're all in or you're all out. Time for you to make a decision. The last thing I will say is this. As I'm reminded of what grit and determination means. And sometimes people count you out and say that you're not who they think you are. I got a nephew who's in the hospital, who's being under strain physically. He went through surgery after surgery and have seen the worst side of it. And I heard a lot of people down, oh my gosh, I'm worried and stuff like that. And I guess what I did like this, I said, you don't know him like I know him. You don't know him like I know him. And when I talked to him, I said, show these people who you are. And he's done that. Time in, time again. He's defied all the odds because he don't have any quit in him. This is exactly what I see in this team. Doubt him if you want to. All you pundits and everybody out of here talking the noise and all that, you don't know him like we know him. So go ahead and bet against him. We better start the betting show. Bet against him. Matter of fact, slide your money on over this way. I'll take it. And every little dollar I win from that, I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to put it over here in the little cubby and I'll keep winning. And I'll hold that money for you. And at the end of the year, if the Chiefs win it all, we're going to throw a big old shindig and a big old party. And let you all know we told you so. We told you so. So whether it be Colin Cowherd or Will Collin or whoever else that steps up and talk about Joe Montana, who all these other people, you ought to know better. But apparently you don't. So I guess we got to show you who we are. See you later. Let's go get this victory down there in Brazil.
Wow. And with that, JD starts off his keys to victory segments for 2025 season with a banger. Woo! Got chills on that one, man.
That's how I feel after being deprived of football for a few months. Like, his tone described me perfectly. That's how mad I am.
I think everyone in the chat kind of feels the same way about this one. Yeah, Sasha, way too damn hyped for this time of night, damn. Oh yeah, baby. Well, you just continue to play that when we before the Friday night game, and then yeah. So, and I loved where he went with that. They handled the noise with his last one there. At first, I thought he was talking like the noise in the stadium, and I'm like, oh, what's he talking about? I was like, so we're probably mostly dominated by Chiefs fans, but no, he was talking about just the noise overall. And again, when you're a team like they talked about, what Donnie and JD talked about earlier, when you're a team that has been living in this like dynasty and just living in the AFC Championship game, living with all the eyes on for this long of time, having those veteran voices in there, you can deal with the noise because you've heard it before, right? We heard it after we lost to the Buccaneers. Like, oh, Pat's never going to catch Brady. He'll never be in a dynasty, whatever, yada, yada, yada. What happened? We saw what happened after that, right? 2 Super Bowls later, right? 3 Super Bowl appearances later after that. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I'm very excited about what these guys are going to come out with. And I think this year's going to be I feel like, and maybe I'm hoping this, but I feel like it's going to be more of like what it was like a couple of years ago, the year after the Tyreek Hill year, where it was, defense obviously stepped up, but you had more of an offensive attack, like that more downfield presence, more offensive, more scoring. And I feel like that is going to be more of the thing this year. And I think we're all kind of hoping for that, but I feel like that is going to be, and also taking the onus off the defense a little bit, defense not having to hold teams to below 18 points a game. I feel like that will be something that we'll see a lot of this year. Thoughts? Can you hear me? Oh, your audio's out. Okay. I don't know if you heard. I don't even know if you heard me.
Yeah. Sorry. It's funny. I saw by your face. I thought you were talking to me, but I'm like, nah, I didn't hear him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have no thoughts. To be honest with you, that was like meditation. I just like kind of wiped my mind clean.
Hey, you just want to go out there and play. You want go out the game to be played.
I got the Men in Black pen to erase my memories for my short-term memory, and then I woke up with like through a brick wall. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was good stuff. A great way to start the season out with that one. I know JD was prepared for that one for a while. You can always tell he's always got something new for each of these keys to victory. So that was a great way to start out. Love it. And I'm glad everybody in the chat, I'm sure everyone got their money's worth on that one. So that was good stuff. I'm excited for the betting aspect of things. I know JD even made a little reference there of the betting aspect. I'm excited for that as well. That'll be
betting reference, a little Baker shot for good measure.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he saw me laughing when he said the Baker thing. I wasn't expecting him to say Baker. There he is. Was that a shot at me, JD?
It wasn't necessarily particularly at you. I just, there is.
It was the people like you.
Huh?
It was to the people like you.
Yes, it was.
All the bakers out there.
Yeah.
We call them the baker's dozen. That's what we call them.
You know what? Hey, God love it. Okay. I'm rooting for Baker. We actually had our draft tonight. Okay. And I almost took him. I almost took Baker. And I just couldn't do it.
You didn't want to have rooting interest with me this year? You didn't want to root with me on the Baker bandwagon?
Later for that one. I give it a little time, man.
Points to Baker for being the Popeye spokesperson. It's keyed out by that.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I like that.
I do like that. Well, wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't either.
Oh, he's a Popeyes guy?
Yeah, he's a Popeyes guy.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense because fried, not baked.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Do they make a? Can you get a baked chicken?
No.
No.
Oh no. Okay. Only if it's fried after that.
No.
Just flash fried. Just dip it in there for a little.
They might throw you out. You ask for a baked chicken from him. Get out. Just get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
But JD, Academy Award goes to you for week one. I know we have a million more weeks of your keys to victory, but I don't know. Week one was pretty dang good. I don't know how you're going to top that next week.
Oh man, I didn't mean to be so long. I had to get it all out. I was, I've been upset with this every chance I see on Twitter, and everybody shares all this doubt of Patrick Mahomes, and I just Calvin Cowherd talking about the guy's literally NFL top 100 players. Okay, based on players, this is players' opinions, and not one of those guys said anything about Andy Reid. Can you imagine that? Not one. Not about Andy Reid's calls or what he's, how that relationship looks like. You know what they say? His performance. Patrick Mahomes being able to make things happen, the magic to score at the end of the game. You need a conductor. That's what you need. You need the right guy to make other coaches look like genius. And I'm not taking away from Andy Reid's genius. Andy's a genius, offensive genius, but you need a guy that can facilitate everything, that can run it. So we got the right guy. Joe Montana coming out, you know, I don't know, Joe was still like, who? And I was like, okay, Joe, no problem. Ain't no problem with that. Hey, Joe has done enough. I value Joe's opinion. But I do believe if Joe had a chance to get him some coffee and actually get his thoughts together.
A cup of Joe.
A cup of Joe. Tage. I had a little bit more clarity in that
you put that up for me. I'm Sean Kemp dunking that thing down, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real alley-oop. Yeah. Back when men did that. They're gonna break the rim back in the day, man.
Yeah.
And I do think it's interesting though that you bring up the top 100 list, because I know it's a lot about stats and all those numbers. And one of the big things you hear about, like from guys like Colin Cowherd and his sidekick Jason McIntyre, and one thing I will say too, just like more thing I'll say this, is that we as Chiefs Kingdom, and I see a lot of people will retweet it, they'll comment on it, engage with it. A lot of these guys doing these takes is because they know how much most of the Chiefs Kingdom gets pissed off and enraged by it. So it's like if we don't retweet it, comment on it, we just ignore it, they're not going to do it anymore because they're not getting the clicks, the engagement rate and stuff. So that's one thing. But number two, the other thing I want to say is
ourselves.
Yeah, no, I know. We want to call it out. But the thing that's interesting is, right, like people talk about, oh, man, Patrick Mahomes the last 2 years, his numbers are awful. He's really declining, right, his numbers. But still, the guy's top 5 ranked by his players. Still, even so.
Oh, I think he's ranked too high. Really? Colin Cowherd? Really? You mean the guys actually play the game? Disagree with you? Okay. All right. Noted. Let's take your opinion for it. He's rated too high. Silly. That's some silliness right there, man. I just unbelievable. I wasted 5 minutes because I had a rebuttal to some of that, and I just deleted it. I'm like, what's the point? Truly.
And the Joe Montana one, I only saw the clip, and from listening to just the clip, it almost sounded like he was trying to think of other guys than Mahomes anyway.
Yeah.
That's outside of me, because he was like, let me think here. There's a lot of guys out there, because he even said at one point, there's a lot of guys out there who I feel like have fallen by the wayside, is what he said. Yes. So it sounded like, to me at least, that he was trying to think of guys who don't get as much credit as Pat already gets.
A lot of the comments I saw were saying if you watch the full thing, because I didn't watch the full thing, he talks about Mahomes extensively throughout the
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that makes sense.
So it wasn't good. Again, clickbait. They posted a clip that was going to enrage people, not giving people the full context of everything. But I mean, also this, and I know people say, "Oh, he's a Niners guy, so of course he's going to crap on Mahomes." I mean, we've had Steve Bono on the show. Bono's a part of the 49ers Alumni Association. He's come on our show, and he's raved about Mahomes. I remember him telling me and JD a couple of years ago, like, there's sometimes we watch that guy, like, and he makes some of these throws where I would have gotten benched and most of us would have gotten benched. We just look at each other in awe and like just shake our head and laugh. Even guys who are embedded with the 49ers organization, like they think that about Mahomes. So it's, it's everyone's thinking that. The old guys and the young bucks.
Well, think of the criteria. The criteria was guys that have fallen by the wayside. Mahomes is the guy throwing these guys by the wayside. Like, he's not the litter. He's the guy throwing the litter out of his car. So, like, that's why he wouldn't name him. He was thinking of guys to name. You don't have to think about Patrick. He's synonymous with, champ and the best in the league right now. So you don't have to even think about that. So, yeah, whatever.
But nonetheless, JD, loved it. And like I was telling Teja before he came on, the handle the noise portion, I thought you were saying, oh, man, there's going to be a lot of Chargers fans there. I was like, I feel like there's going to be more Chiefs fans there. But when you talk about the handle the noise, you're talking about all the outside stuff and all the stuff that's being said. So,
yeah. And I recognize that I might have been part of that noise. And look, upset, but I'm waiting to see. I want to see what our D line is going. I want to see. Okay, cool. We're gonna deal with whatever. Shoot, decision was made. Fine. Okay, y'all got the hardware. I'm always going to defer to you all. How you feel? I just put my own personal opinion out there. But I realize, hey, I don't want to be part of the noise either because we got to move. Mike has moved on. It's not always pretty. Like Donnie was talking about, he had to move out there to the Chargers. Didn't want to leave Kansas City. Didn't want to leave. But this is a business. These things sometimes happen. So, yeah, gives opportunity to these guys, and I'm here for it all.
Yeah, JD, when it comes to like international travel or just road games, for example, like let's say you're playing like on the West Coast, so sometimes teams will go out to the West Coast a little early. Are they bringing all the practice squad guys? So like Wednesday, they left today. Are they bringing all the practice squad guys with them, or how does that work? Because I was curious if they're going to bring Broderick Martin and Zach Pickens with them just to see if they are going to travel with the team or not, just in case they elevate them on game day.
No, I mean you take your 53, and then from that point, when it comes down to the 49 or 47, however many, is going to be like, okay, you're going to dress, you're not going to dress this game, but those guys service one another. At this point, like Donnie was talking about, we were just saying the hay is in the barn. Okay, you're not trying to get everything. This right here is just you're just going over the things that you don't went over. You know what the scheme is. You know what the game plan is. We're just going to keep running until we get it right. That's it. So if there's any snafus, anything, any questions, let's get it out now. But other than that, the hay is on the bar. We've done all the work we need to do. We are prepared to play this game. So that's the way it works. If you're trying to put something in now, it's too late. Coaches get all that done during off season, the training camp and whatnot. If you want to put in a wrinkle and whatnot, sure. But you ain't coming the day before the game or 2 days before the game like, let's run this new play. No. It ain't happening.
Yeah. No. That's interesting. And I guess the questions will be had, but depending on what we see Friday night, depending on what their run D looks like. And then that's when we'll talk about these Broderick Martin or if they look outside for another defensive tackle. But
I want to see this guy right here. This is what I want to see play. Right there.
Hey, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see I know you mentioned Gelati when you talked about the defensive line, but I'm excited to see what they could do with him versatility-wise because you can play him inside, you can play him outside. Jerry Tiller, you can play him inside, you can play him outside. So it seems like they are keen on the whole versatility aspect with our guys this year. So I'm curious to see how those guys hold up when it comes to the run game. Yeah,
me too. I think when somebody was saying this, it might have been on the Brown or something, but they were just talking about playing fast. That obviously the interior guys, playing fast and that's penetrating and getting up the field, disrupting, all the zone blocking scheme. And what kills all of that zone blocking scheme is penetration. You penetrate, that's it tears everything up. So they just got to be styled in there. But yeah, I'm here for it all, man. I'm here for it all.
So yeah, pumped. I can't wait.
So pumped. Just 2 days, baby. 2 days long. Less than 48 hours at this point. Less than 48 hours. We'll be right now. This would be like probably end of fourth quarter, midway through the fourth right now. We be probably tweeting now. We'll be on the show for the post game show in like 20 minutes at this point in 2 days. But all right. So yeah. So with that, we have our betting aspect of things. JD mentioned, foreshadow a little betting aspect of things. So week one's always a tough one as far as kind of laying down your bets because there's no patterns. There's nothing to look at yet. You can only look at last year, and you can only look at what the teams did in the offseason to kind of go on. So this is always an interesting one to go with. So Teja went really safe based on his bets. If you guys know the show, that's usually what happens. Teja is the safer of the two between us. But we're gonna take a gander at what Teja has for the week one of the season.
All right, baby. Ooh. Let's do it. Okay, so coming out of the gate, I'm going a little safer. Okay, so I want to see more of the regular season version of the team before I start taking chances. Some things I was interested in, but again, I want to wait. I was interested in Hampton numbers, wink, wink. But he's a rookie, one, and B, I want to see how our regular season run defense looks. I want to see. I don't want to base too much off of last year's stats, but unfortunately, that's all we have to go off of. So let's dive in, shall we? Okay. So Pacheco, 40-plus rushing yards. His carry over under is 12. Let's just say he gets 11 carries in the game. So 28 out of the last 31 times Pacheco had, when he gets 11 carries, he's hit 40 yards. That is a crazy. That's a crazy. I know you don't want to go over stats, and it's the first game of the season, but that's a lot of that's a sample size. Okay, let's put it that way. Total over 39.5. So Vegas thinks the score is going to be a 45, I believe, a total over under. It's which is what, 24-21. It's because it's a 3-point spread, and 45, 24-21 is what they think the score is going to be. I'm thinking it's a little. I'm going to give it a little buffers. I'm going to give it a little buffer. So I'm factoring the 21 type game. I'm factoring a 23-20, a 23-17 in case they miss that field goal. I'm going 39.5 over. I think the score will be like a low mid 40s. I think they're about right with that. But so McConkey, 5+ catches. So he caught 5+ in 11 out of his last 12 games. In fact, he only didn't hit 5+ in 3 games last year overall, which is pretty incredible. I just think they're going to find a way to get him the ball. I know a lot of guys will be rusty. I just think that him and Herbert are so locked in. I don't think there's going to be a lot of offseason rust for them. I think they're really on the same page, and I think they're just going to hit the ground running like they came from last year. Speaking of that, Kelsey, 4 catches. So
Your audio went out, Tej. Yeah, I think you just stick to the laptop's microphone, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, laptop mic.
No?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's the AirPods.
AirPods suck. AirPods suck, guys. Just yeah. I'll do a midway through this bet little sermon here. AirPods are so overrated. They're made to fail you. The moment it's like taking new car off the lot. That's what getting AirPods. The moment you open them, they lose half their value, and the clock starts on them dying on you at any time. Okay. Anyway, Kelsey, 4 catches. So the latter portion of what I said about Herbert and McConkey apply completely 100 times over to Kelsey and Mahomes. I don't think there's going to be any offseason rust. In fact, in games without Rice last year, he hit 4+ catches, 14 out of 16. So lastly, so this was interesting. I thought I want to mulligan because I think I'm still going to go with this. So Worthy 50+ yards. It's what I have listed here. And I am confident he'll do that, but I don't have the stats to back that up as much as his receptions, for instance. So he had at least 50 yards in 5 out of his last 8 games. But he hit 5 catches in all 8 of those. So that's good. That's a good one, Sasha. I like that. Major character concern. Not drafted. Off my board next time. I'm looking for headphones. If I'm going to do this, I like the 50 yards, but if you want a better, safer sample size, I'd go with 5 catches because he just did that in, all 8 of the last 8 games. There you go.
Okay.
25 to win 108. Safe. It's not a jackpot, but you know what? You hit this, you're betting the next 4 weeks for free.
Right.
Yeah,
Money.
that's true.
Good money. Great way to look at it.
So JD, what do you think about Tejas?
I like it. I like all of them. Pacheco, 40+ rushing yards. I had no idea that he gets 11 carries. He has at least 40 rushing yards. I think Pacheco is going to light it up this game. He looked great in the preseason. So I do agree with he's going to get 40+ rushing yards. McConkey, 5+ catches. I think you're right. They've established this. the relationship that he's the number one receiver for them. And, he does a lot of different routes. So I do absolutely see him getting 5+ catches. Kelsey, 4+ catches. Yeah, 4+ catches. I think he will. This is just like the game when you started out, when you know what this means to him. Like starting his tour, his revenge tour, I guarantee he's telling Patrick Mahomes, look for me. Anytime you in an issue, something's going awry, throw it to me. So I like that. Over 39.5 total points. I have the Chiefs probably going to get that close to that by themselves. It's going to be a high-scoring game for them.
I knew you'd say that.
Wow. I love that.
Absolutely. I already put 6 touchdowns up here, baby, on the board now, for my little pregame. So,
I like that.
Yeah. Worthy 50+ receiving yards. Absolutely. Rashid Rice is not playing. He's going to be the one that's going to, obviously prosper from, his absence. So yeah, I like it. $25, 108. I like your thinking. Shoot, you get this bet, you got another money for next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, got money for a month.
Yeah.
All right. So Teja and I, usually we do things a little differently when we do these bets, but so my first one, I have Xavier Worthy, 60+ receiving yards. His best regular season receiving game last year was against the Chargers. It was the game Rashid Rice went down. He had 73 receiving yards that game. Obviously, he did awesome in the playoffs, so he eclipsed 73 yards. But between both his games last year against the Chargers, he averaged about 57 yards, so it's slightly under this. So it's very close. That's why I think his overall line is 59.5. His real line for this game is 59.5. So they obviously think he's going to be 60 yards. He averaged 62 yards per game last year, and he eclipsed 60 yards receiving in 5 of his last 10 games. So 5 of his last 10 games, and those were without Rashid Rice, he eclipsed 60 receiving yards. So he's obviously trending. For me, I'm going on the trend. He's continuing to trend in that direction. He becomes Mahomes' boy, and I think Worthy is in line for a big day on Friday. And really, it's only 10 more yards than what Teja's choosing. So it's another catch, another quick screen, take it for 12 yards. Boom, first down. So yeah, 60 yards there. So next one, so Teja referenced Omarion Hampton, but I will say it's interesting that right before we came on the show, I believe the Chargers listed Najee Harris as the starter and a guy who's only had like 7 practices with the Chargers. I think that's interesting. He just came back from his eye injury. I don't know if you guys know this, but he hurt his eye during July the 4th during fireworks. So that's why he hasn't practiced. That's why he's missed pretty much all the training camp. I think he's only practiced for 6 or 7 practices so far. But Hampton's been the guy all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason, while Najee Harris has been out. Najee hasn't been the most impactful runner, I would say, that throughout his career. We watched him against Pittsburgh last year. Jalen Warren was the more impressive guy. Najee really wasn't that dude. So I think Hampton will be that guy. And for me, this comes down to the Mike Pennell thing, right? It's the question mark we have that nose tackle spot. And 40 yards, we're not going to lose if Omarion Hampton has 40 yards rushing in this game. So it's not like, I think our nose tackle situation is going to be rough. It's we have a question mark there, and knowing that question mark, if they feed this guy 15 times in that run-heavy offense that Greg Roman likes to run, he could have 40 yards rushing. And that's more me just kind of, and Najee, I'm not expecting him to do much in this game. It's more of, he'll probably take some load off Hampton, but for him, only practicing 6 times before this game, I just don't see Najee taking much load off Omarion Hampton. Next one, Ladd McConkey, 5 catches. He had 5 catches in the only game he played against the Chiefs last year. In 17 games last year, 12 of those games went for 5 or more catches. Averaged over 6 catches last year a game. And his real projection for this game is 6 catches. So we're going a little bit less than what they predict him to get. And then this is the one that most fantasy experts would laugh at me for. Probably a lot of people are going to laugh at me anyways for, is Kareem Hunt, 25 yards rushing in this game. Now, for some reason, people want to forget what Kareem Hunt did for us last year. Because Pacheco's back and healthy. That means Kareem Hunt's going to be fall off the map. No. Kareem Hunt is still here. And if you guys are paying attention to training camp, everyone said that the Chiefs operate the offense with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco as a 1A, 1B situation. One drive was Pacheco, one drive was Kareem. So as much as people, for whatever reason, don't want to see Kareem Hunt get touches, he's here, baby. He's the 1A and the 1B, and sometimes he might be the 1A. So going back to last year, and I can only look at last year when Pop came back. I know he's come back from the injury. Pop only had one game where he had more carries than Kareem, which is pretty interesting. Talk about the 1A, 1B situation. I think multiple games they had the same number of carries, which I thought was interesting. 4 of 8 games. 4 of the 8 games with Pop last year, Hunt had 25 yards plus rushing. And whenever Hunt had 11 or more carries, he went over the 25-yard mark last year. So it just depends. Will you get the 11 carries? I mean, I think JD, I think we all kind of hope there's more balance to this offense this year. So if he gets 11 carries, 25 yards is a lock for him. And again, when his first action last year, coming off the couch, remember, everyone thought it was going to be Carson Steele, Samaje Perine. No, Kareem Hunt comes in, gets 16 carries for 69 yards in his first game action coming off the couch against the Chargers. And then he also averaged 42 and a half rushing yards last year against the Chargers in the 2 games he played. And then lastly, Chiefs money line. I think the Chiefs will win this game. Mahomes is 7-1 all time against Justin Herbert. And he is 6-0 against the Chargers when not playing in Kansas City. So when he plays away from Kansas City, he is 6-0 against the Chargers. So that is mine, and that is a 25 to win, 325.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, looks good. Worthy 60-plus receiving yards. Like I said before, he's the one that I think we're going to give him a lot of looks. We're going to give him a lot of looks. So I do believe he's going to have 60-plus receiving yards. Pat's going to have a day. Let me just put that way. He is. A lot of guys going to catch the football, but I do believe probably the lion's share is going to go to Worthy. Hampton's 40-plus rushing yards. Get a little question,
Might I ask, what's his over-under in carries, Marcus?
Ooh, I didn't see that. I'll check.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Najee Harris, he's a star running back, Pittsburgh, I think, coming out there, Jim might say, hey, look, listen, we still going to give you a shot at this. And I think that what they're going to do is they're going to keep trying to run him until –
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope Najee Harris is featured in this game, please.
Yeah. They're gonna run him. They're going to run him. But his eye, I guess he looked down the battle like, hey, is this thing – I don't know. So how bad is the eye? Has he lost any of that vision? Hampton, it's a good question on what the over-under is on his carries.
It's 12 carries for Hampton.
Okay.
12 carries for Hampton, 12 carries for Pacheco, and 6 carries for Hunt.
Okay. All right. I like it. Yeah, I can see that happening. McConkey 5-plus catches, I do believe that's going to happen. He's going to feature him throwing in the ball. Hunt 25-plus rushing yards. I do believe Hunt will have 25-plus rushing yards. I do. I think what the Chiefs going to do, which will probably be to their benefit, is establish a run early. I think you have to do that. That way the linebackers start playing downhill. And I think you have to, if you want to throw it deep and you want to get some of those shots, you have to establish a run. And with those guys up front, you want them to be a little bit of fresh when they are throwing the football. So you got to be able to mix it up. And I think we're going to be a higher volume running than we did last year, which is going to be kind of surprising, but I think it's going to be a great surprise for us. So I do see Kareem Hunt getting 25-plus receiving yards. Chiefs money line, without a doubt. I think this is a no-brainer for me. I think we beat this team at least by 3 touchdowns, at least.
I love it. Wow. All right, JD. So now you got to make your decision here on Teja's bet versus my bet. I see Optimistic James is all in with me, I think, with that.
I tell you what, man, I'm looking at both of you guys. I like both of y'all number ones, projected 40-plus rushing yards, Worthy 60-plus. I like both of y'all's on that. McConkey 5-plus catches, Hampton 40-plus rushing yards. Hampton, like I said, obviously he's been there at camp. I do believe Najee, they're going to give him a shot. And if he's not making it, they're just going to let Hampton just take over. And they're probably like, look, if he's not getting the job done, we probably still have to work him in. Maybe give him, more of a look, probably the second half, if you will.
You think that's the sketchiest bet is Hampton?
I do.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I do.
I'm more worried about Hunt, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, the only reason I say this is because Najee, obviously, he's a starting running back in the league. And so maybe they're thinking you come here and you can get your career all back together.
You say he's a starting running back or a star running back?
A starting running back.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
He has
Just check.
He has killed my fantasy every time. I had him 2 years in my fantasy, and I'm like, never again.
He definitely gets carries. That's for sure.
He definitely gets carries.
Yeah.
He actually had a decent game against us last year, 13 for 74 in that game. I thought he had a bad game for some reason. We blew them out, so maybe I just forgot about his game, but 13 for 74 that day.
Yeah. So, but it's not a bad bet. I think Hampton, like I said, if Najee's not really cooking, I think they just let the young guy just take over. Why not?
I will say if we're killing them like you think, that would be the kind of game where they're like, all right, Hampton, like go out there and make mistakes.
Yeah.
Give us a spark.
Yeah, gamesmanship, JD, because I've seen the last few days. I was talking about before you came on earlier. So this new thing, right? They put Harris as a starting back, a guy who's only had 6 practices this offseason with this new team. I saw Travion Henderson for the Patriots. Everyone's been talking about him. They listed him at their unofficial depth chart, the number 3 back behind Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. The Commanders, Krosky Merritt, everyone was saying using me as starting guy, so they trade Brian Robinson. He's the number 3 back on their initial depth chart. Is that just gamesmanship from all these teams, or is just like?
Look, these guys. Listen. We got to understand, man. This is the NFL, so they still got to make a transition coming into the league. Speed wise, like I said, even with Rashard Smith, it breathes different. And from the running back position, it's going to take some guys some time. And so I think they realize that. And so give them a little bit early, and then you just increase as they go along. And when they start figuring it out, then you'll start seeing same thing. Start moving up on the depth chart as being like, okay, this guy's going to be able to take over. But I do believe what they'll do is they're going to defer to the veteran guys that's been out there. They understand what they're looking for. They got a better line, maybe saying the Chargers, then why not do it that way? So I think it's just let them crawl getting into where they need to. Now, obviously, like Genty's a little bit different because they don't really have nobody else there. They came all in for that guy. So they just like, he's gonna be the guy, we're gonna feed him the ball. But these other guys, there's people there in place. And you just gotta unseat them for that position. So
yeah, but what's the difference and interesting part about the Hampton one is that Hampton spent more time at camp and with the team than participating than Harris really has.
He has, but Harris has played in the league longer. And
it's vet respect, huh?
Yeah, it is.
You want them to be hungry. You want them to earn it too.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, a young guy comes in, shoot, I can't put it all on him just yet. Unless you are like, that high guy. If I got a guy that, that has, the history of being a starter in this league, then why not give it to him? Right.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. It's like a young player in basketball coming off the bench. He won't start. He might very well play more minutes than that guy, but he's not going to start, not right away.
Absolutely. Right. So that I think that's what it's going to be. So I like number 4 on yours, Tage, over 39.5 total points. Absolutely on that. Hunt 25 push rushing yards. I gave you my reasoning for that. I think it's going to be those two toting the rock. And both of them just going to get the number. They're going to get their numbers called. I think it should. You should. I think it'd be a mistake not to run Kareem Hunt and let him get a little juiced up. Seriously. Because you got to get him involved early. And I think they'll look how's it going to look in the future. Run these two guys. So and keep them fresh. Number 5, Worthy 50+ receiving yards. I do believe he's going to do that. Chiefs money line. I think that's an easy win right there for me. And so we're looking at these two fellas. Teja's bet $25 to win $108, 8 smackaroos. And Marcus's bet $25 to win $325. And for this week, I'm have to go with Marcus. Yeah. The only reason, I think with the chances is going to bring you a little bit more do-re-mi. I like the money coming back. I like the 108, Tage. I like playing it safe. I think you're playing it real safe on this one. Okay. And I think yours is an easy bet. I like yours because I think it's really like no brainer as a win. But I like the return on Marcus's because I think he has good bets too. I think his equates to yours. So I like 325 coming back on the $25 bet, brother. I like.
Yeah, because you just said you like mine bets better.
No, I think he was saying that he thinks they're very similar as far as like the likeliness of it, and mine would stand out.
Mine is the easy money, is what he said.
It's easy money, but it's easy lower money, and I think Marcus's has good money. I think good bets that's going to bring a better return, but I think his bets win too. So looking at that, I like the return on the money. So the thing is, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put $25 down on both of them. Ooh. And that's the way it's gonna work. So
there you go. There you go. All right, guys.
I'll be good either way.
Yeah. Or you both, and we both suck.
So our friends over at FanDuel have promotions going on all weekend for week 1 of the football season. They'll have them every weekend, but they'll have good promotions and profit boost. So really, you can get Teja's bet or my bet a little bit more. I think they were doing a 30% boost right now, so it's 25 to win 325. So it'd be 30% more on that as well as for both right now. So yeah, they're doing a bunch of boosters right now for week 1 of the season. So
there you go, JD. So mine becomes 140 almost.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden Marcus's go up to
like 375.
Yeah, we'll take it.
There you go. So we hope you guys enjoy the bets there. We hope you guys enjoyed the first. I mean, we won't have many shows where we'll be doing both in together because this is usually a Friday show. But because of the circumstances of this game being on Friday, we did this all today. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. We've had a lot of people stay off the entire time. So you guys enjoyed the episode. You guys enjoyed Donnie Edwards. They've seen JD and Donnie catch up. It's always nice to see JD and the former coworkers, but yeah, colleagues and teammates catch up. I always love seeing that live and in action.
Brothers, I call them brothers. We British shoot. That's my dog right there. That's my brother. And like I said, man, we got our first win, man, a long time ago. Just as coming in the league in the Senior Bowl. And so you take that journey together. That's how it works. So when you're a prospect, you start thin, you start practicing. Obviously, the same thing, draft process. You see guys at the draft, and it's just you're going through this together, really. Say, hey, man, how's it going over there and stuff. So Donnie them came up to Philadelphia in 97 and played us. And I had to go against Derek Thomas, and I was just like, DT. And them daggone sleeves outside, I was like, as advertised, baby, as advertised. He's one of those that get you. You better tie your shoes up. I had to tie my shoes up against DT in that game. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Teja, I don't know if you saw it, but Donnie said JD always held.
Of course he did. Spoken like a true linebacker.
Yeah. Exactly. All the time. You held all the time. I say, man, you were too fast. I need to reach out and touch you, brother.
Oh, so you just owned it, huh?
Yeah. Hey, I'd let you know I'm gonna hold a dog out of you. That's a fact.
It's only a foul, they call it.
That's right. Hey, man, and I never got caught. Keep them inside here, man. The meat hooks is right inside here.
Yep.
So,
especially when you develop that reputation as a good blocker, they kind of let you do things. Just like a reputation as like when you get shut down corner. Shut down corner just means they don't call you for holding.
Yeah. Look clean. Like, hey, look clean. Like, really?
Yeah.
My jersey, you pull my jersey up. Nope. He's fine. He's good.
Yeah.
But we hope you guys enjoyed the episodes. We'll be back here Friday night at the conclusion of the Chiefs and Chargers game, which is on YouTube. So really, you go from the game, just scoot on over to Chief Concerns channel right after the game. That's Friday night. It'll be after the game. So probably right around this time Friday, you can see us talking about reacting to the Chiefs' first win of the regular season. JD, take us away, brother.
Hey man, listen, I'm glad you all stayed with us through this entire marathon. It was a marathon tonight, and we enjoyed every moment of it. But it won't be as long going through the regular season like this. Now we're gonna cut it down, try to keep it short. We're gonna try to remain into the time slot we were supposed to. So we're gonna get better at that.
This is just extra long because the two shows combined.
This is like a super size. You're talking about like a McDonald's large, huh?
That's right. It's like sitting out front, for the new game coming, at Best Buy. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So you brought your coffee and we're gonna give it to you. That's what we did tonight. So I just wanted to say thank you all for staying with us. Appreciate Donnie Edwards for coming on. Did an amazing job. Got to get him back here on the show. And obviously we talked about his foundation that he does. And so, y'all go out and support those things. It's an amazing thing as well. But with that being said, man, Marcus, Tage, good to see you guys back, man, on the betting show. We're going to bring some money in our pocket either way. So if a market fails me on this, Tage, I'm looking for you to come in.
Yeah, then you're going to come back to recoup the losses, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, Tage.
You need to lose a couple weeks to play it safe, huh?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And then guess what? If y'all both hit, I'm good. Marcus, you bring in 422 actually at 30% goes up. 422.
Ooh, dang.
Yes, sir. I just
Pretty
did the
good.
math. I'm like, oh, yes, sir. You good with it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. But with that being said, you all, thank you so much. Everybody coming to enjoy the chat, Donnie, and the keys to victory, and obviously the betting show. Listen, we'll see y'all on Friday night after the victory down there in Brazil. Should be a great time. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. We love you guys. Y'all take care. I'm gonna say bye to you all. Stanley Mooney and Susan and everybody that came in. There's too many people to say bye to. I know it's a lot. So what I'm gonna say is, y'all take care. Love each other the way you're supposed to love each other. God bless. We will holler at you all later. Thank you so much. Chief Concerns family, we love you guys. Y'all awesome. We will see you after the game Friday night. Marcus, Taze, love you, brothers. Okay?
Love you, brother. And prayers. Love Chad. If Chad's watching this, love you, buddy.
Yes, sir. God is good, man. Love you, Chad. I'm trying to tell you, fighting, man. People were just like, oh my gosh, where? I said, man, y'all don't know who Chad is. Y'all don't know him. He's been here before, but he's built for it. The toughest man I know. So it goes for my man Stu too. Stu's on here. Stu is still praying for you as well, my brother. So, like I said before, man, we're gonna keep supporting one another because that's what we're supposed to do. That's our responsibility. We'll share that burden with everybody. So, love you guys. Love goes out to each and every one of you guys. Okay, y'all take care. We'll see y'all later.
All right, Friday night.
Good night,
hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.